Hey, hello everybody. Greetings. I don't know if I sound different. I got a new mic. Yay, more Warhammer.
That sound a little bit
No,
different, but
I
it's
forgot
like
to
it's gonna
update it.
be. You forgot to update what?
I forgot to update my stream title.
Oh, derp.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, Warhammer. I was like, no. You do, but still intelligible, so it's fine. What? So it sounds bad.
Yeah,
Is that what?
you sound better than I do right now, so there's that.
Okay.
But I am currently sick with a cold. I sound like a frog with laryngitis. This is not intentional, so apologies, and I'll try to get better at some point.
You sound like you're in a fishbowl.
Yeah, yeah, that's
That's
pretty
not
common.
good. That's not a good
I
thing.
think I think they mean me.
Slow clap. Thanks, Polly's. And everybody clapped. Thank you. Well, at least I'm not in my ranting phase yet.
Oh,
I feel like I'm not coming in that strongly because I'm not ranting, but the moment I start ranting, I'm going to start peaking because the microphone's like right inside the headset. All right. Do you want to go over the stories that we weren't able to go over last
no,
time?
we have way too much that's on the docket for today. There's like
Let's do.
150 games just came out.
Okay, to be fair, I haven't really been keeping on track with all that
We
stuff.
just we
So,
just we just finished watching the PC game show just happened a little bit ago, and before that the Xbox game showcase just went off.
didn't see any of
And
that.
yeah, there's a lot to go over. There's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of big stuff.
Big stuff, big stuff.
Yeah, I think games are back. Like not fully, like not at the level, but it's like I only saw I think one or two BSy type things and not like yeah, I didn't see anything like garbage, like just pure there's like two things that are just pure garbage. Everything else was just like, hey, look, it's games. It's like games are back. Like we're just playing actual games again. Like holy crap, look at that. That's not
You know,
something we expected to see.
the one thing that really told me that things were changing was when I saw a lot of cleavage, a lot of booba, a lot of bootay, and very attractive women, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're back. Oh yeah, we're back." And you guys don't understand. They're like, Reaver, don't you have anything better to do than looking at a woman's booty or her
Excuse me,
booba?
sorry.
And I'm like, look, we've been we've been going through like a huge, is it transformation? We've been going through a phase, guys. The gaming industry's been going through a phase, and for some reason, they felt the need to make women unattractive, not pretty, and to like have them pretty much just wearing burqas, just cover them up. No one wants to see that she. No one wants to see freaking women bodies. Gross. So think of that. We've been doing that. That's been like every time we see a female character, that's what's been going on for 5 years straight. No, straight.
Yeah, it's been a while.
5 years of nothing but that. Of like, you shouldn't get excited at seeing a woman at all. Like, not the men, not the women, not the binary people who are also interested in women. No, no one's allowed to look at women at all. And it's like that for 5 years, guys. And then, lo and behold, the first thing we see at the start of Summer Games Fest, ass and titties, booba and butt. everywhere. Jiggle physics, smexy robot
Not
ladies.
not everywhere, but definitely more
More than
common than it's been.
more yeah, more common than it's been. Don't knock it off, Saib. Like there was a lot going on than I've seen in the last 5 years, and I was like, God dang! Like I was like, we're I feel like we're coming back. I feel like we're healing. The moment I saw cleavage and jiggle physics, I was like, we're healing. We're coming back, guys. Let me summarize the showcases. Not bad, okay-ish. Seen no
Yeah,
woke messages as it's the special month. It's the special month of, and none of it was shoved down our throats. It's impressive, actually. I mean, there's still some of it here and there, but they actually look pretty interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not really caricatures. They're like actually interesting games with, you know, what is it? With like different characters from different ethnicities and backgrounds, you know? I mean, I saw some games that were pretty interesting, but yeah. Did you see the did you see the game called Re-Looter?
yes, that was one of the dumb games that I mentioned.
Yeah. I saw that.
Um,
I saw
yeah,
I saw Asmongold.
Reluder.
I saw Asmongold react to the trailer because, like I said, I didn't watch all the game trailers that were released, and I was like, oh my god. For those of you who don't know, Re-Looter is an African future. You play as an African futurist, um, people of African descent who go into museums and retake African artifacts that were put in museums, and then you like re-steal them because they were stolen by people of a certain ethnicity.
Colonial people.
So yeah, I was like,
Um,
oh yay! I was like, cool. I mean, Asmongold seems to really excited to play that game, so you know, can't wait to see that playthrough. I'm just saying that. Like I said, we're healing. There's still gonna be some stuff here and there, but we're healing more or less, in my opinion. Now, what is it? Uh, I really want to. There's a lot of stuff we didn't get through last time.
yeah, it's been a bit of a gong show.
Okay, do you want to get through what we have right now and then go back if we have time, or do you want to go with what we left, what we didn't get through last time, and then get
No,
into
I
things?
think well, what just list off the things that you wanted to talk about last time that
Okay,
we didn't get a chance to.
okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. What the fuck is his name? Randy Pitchford. He made a response. I don't know if we already covered that. Uh,
I we talked about Randy Pitchford.
no, like what he said in response. He said, was it? What I was trying to do was explain that it wasn't my call, but that if a $10 price increase does happen, since that's obviously where the industry is going, it will be okay, and that Borderlands 4 will be okay because it's a great game and there are a lot of fans who will see the value and want it. I think my trying to shorthand that using the phrase real fans, quote unquote, triggered some people, and I saw that it got inflated as if I was making some big statement. I wasn't. I was just trying to help someone who I thought was sincerely worried about us and looking out for us. And I could see that it was being pressed into the idea that I was taking the audience for granted, which is a super shitty look, but it was not at all my intent and does not reflect at all how I feel. I don't believe that for 1 second, but okay, that's what he said in response to that. Let's see. Sony confirms discounts on the PS5 consoles, accessories, and software. Uh, the so PlayStation's like having like was or at least was having a discount on a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but they did, which I guess yay. I don't know. Warhammer 40K Maker Games Workshop is doing so well. It's giving was it 27 million to its staff, and not only that, they were also giving was it they were giving money to the worker staff, like the janitorial staff, like the people
So
you would.
they're yeah, they're just giving out bonuses. So
Yeah.
with that story, what people don't realize what's been happening is that there has been a massive push. Somebody in the marketing department over at Warhammer figured out that they needed to do some stuff to combat a lot of the negative press that they've been having, and they have done so very, 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 very well. And you might say, well, what are you talking about? What have they been doing? And I don't know if like they've been doing a lot. They've been doing a lot. Like it's been trending in a lot of places. A lot of content creators are making a lot of content around it and for it, and they've been pushing quite heavily into it. This is not an accident. This isn't organic. This is designed. This is them trying to like save their butts because they made a handful of mistakes. Like they made a handful of mistakes recently, and so they're kind of pushing back. They're trying to like focus on the positive news stories, all that kind of stuff. But it is like 100%. This is all like it's all choreographed. Like some
Mm.
people might go, oh no, it's super organic. No, it's not super organic.
Oh,
Like
it's just
crying out.
PR stuff. Okay.
It's PR stuff, and it's working because they're having such a great financial fiscal year.
Mm.
Um, but they still have those problems are still there. They're still percolating under the system, and
Yeah, don't
we
get me.
hope that things get better. But don't count your chickens before they're hatched. That's for sure.
Yeah, I saw that there was drama with Games Workshop going after a small uh distributor. Like they were selling Warhammer 40K items and stuff, and Games Workshop went after them, or somebody did, and then it turns
Yeah,
out it was just like some huge misunderstanding, and it's like, ooh.
yeah.
So it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that company has been run by not complete idiots, not a whole, like all idiots, but they have been run by a lot of ridiculously idiotic people making decisions that didn't help anybody and has and will continue to cause massive issues if they don't fix it in the long run. So it is something that is ongoing. And again, I'm not saying this to spoil anybody's day or to ruin anybody's fandom. I'm just saying, like, heads up when big mega corporations are doing things that miraculously result in them making a ton of money. It's not always altruistic. Oh, look, we're doing such a good job because we love you guys so much. It's like there's a very good chance that they don't love you. Like,
Yeah.
it just again, it's just a reminder. They don't love you more than anybody else. Please stop buying into this idea that Games Workshop is your salvation. It really isn't. I don't know how they've managed to make it so far because they got so close to having so many like big major catastrophes, and it's just like, wow, guys, could you screw this up any more than you have already at this point? Like really, wow. Like I am genuinely impressed that they're managing to turn things around. So yeah,
Hmm. Games
interesting.
Games Workshop sounds a lot like
It's
uh
like just like any other
Wizards
of
of the
these big
Coast.
older. Yeah, it's just like these companies. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't really they don't really understand their people. They're still trying to push female Astodes, because they haven't even been able to explain that right. It's just like, well, we want them because Amazon wants them. It's like, why? Like, is there a particular reason? Like what's going on here? Like, is
I just
this isn't
I just
yeah. So
don't
it's
like
like,
that they blatantly ignore the women that are in the
yes,
Warhammer
because
40K universe.
that's the thing. It's like there are entire like fighting forces that like chapters that are female, and you have some really amazing cool characters that you could build in from that. But for some reason they're like, no, we want to make sure that the Astartes, and again, it's like nobody can explain this to me. No, nobody who's a diehard fanboy can explain why on earth they're doing this, why on earth they're pushing this hard. It doesn't make any sense. It's not getting them what they want. It really isn't good for the brand. Excuse me. I'm dying here, by the way. But
And
yeah, it's just the stupidity like of circling the drain and circling the drain and circling the drain, and they're going, no, 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 this is good, this is good, this is good. It's like, no, this isn't good. Like, I
like
don't know why you think this is good. This isn't good. None of this is good. But they keep pushing it and they keep pushing it and they keep
like
pushing it and they keep pushing it.
look, I respect the male legions, the legions of men, you know, that are in the Warhammer 40K universe. But just because the Astartes are just mostly men doesn't mean that there's like not very important figures beyond just the soldiers, you know? There's like a working civilization outside of the Astartes Legion. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Warhammer, nothing but soldiers." It's like, "Well, yeah, they're soldiers, but there's those at the top who navigate the soldiers. There are inquisitors, there are was it infiltrators, assassins. Just because the Astartes are mostly men doesn't mean that the people beyond are just also only men. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just made up
Yeah.
of it's a whole
And
system
I
of
mean,
people.
there are some really important characters that this tomfoolery is harming in the long run.
Yeah, the
Um,
female inquisitor, she was pretty cool. There's what I think
so, well, I mean, so
current
more than
day.
that. So there's a hot alien elf chick
Oh yeah.
who helped to save Rabute Gilliman
Oh
in
yeah.
some way. It's like, and this is like, it's like keying up this sort of semi romance, which to be honest, I really really stump for, because the
She's a
the show
filthy
needs some
Xenos.
like sorry, not the show, the universe needs some like really positive, healthy um romance and like something positive, because it lacks that in a lot of ways, and not that I'm saying that like clearly they've been doing fine without it, but it's just it does feel very very like bleak when there's not. And people are like, well, that's the point of Warhammer, it's supposed to be bleak. It's like you're not supposed to have like
Eh,
all these cool happy things going around. It's meant to be like grim. It's like, yeah, but that does get tiring after a while. I don't know, from my point of view. It's my 2 cents. It might be the fever talking, but it's like I prefer if they had some like, you know, something else to like, cause encouragement. Like, I
I
just feel
mean,
like it's important.
that's why I really like playing Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, which is a CRPG where you actually role
Yeah.
play being involved in the goings on of the universe, but like you're not like, oh, you're a soldier that gets sent to this planet and you have to kill things. No, that's not what you are. You are a rogue trader. You have to make deals and make peace with other factions in the universe. You need to talk to people. You need to make allies or make enemies. Like you actually like role play being in the universe. I've never played the tabletop, so I don't know how deep the role playing goes in that. But in this, I can actually like get involved. in like politics and stuff like that, like making my own inner circle full of Xenos while I'm just I'm human, but I have like a whole, well, I wouldn't say all of them, but I have some Xenos in my entourage, and one of them I may or may not be romancing on the side, but I'm not a traitor to humanity because of that, but the way that the lore is written, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyways, I'm just saying that there is like romance in it if it's written well. Uh, I think there was a romance going on between like a female inquisitor with one of the Astartes soldiers or one of the Astarte Legion leaders. And some people said that like she's like best girl because of all the stuff that she has to go through. Like it was during like a plot line in one of the books, but I forgot what the books were called, and I forgot her name. I think her name's like Amberly or something like that. But she's like everyone says that they like really like her as one of the like top figureheads of
Yeah.
Inquisitors.
Then there's I think it's a goddess who is currently trapped by
Oh yeah, I heard.
um Polly's might be able to help me with this. So
Yeah,
so the filth demon god, whatever his name is, the
Nurgle.
Nurgle. So Nurgle has in his possession, he's got a hostage like lady girl. I don't know.
She's the goddess of the elven people, the
Yes,
good
yes.
the good elven people.
Yeah. So she's the
She's the god.
goddess of the elven people, and she has been helping to push out cures, and that's where all the cures to Nurgle's stuff comes from, is because she suffers tortures with this stuff. Then she creates the cure for the disease, and then she puts it out there so that they can keep combating this stuff. And again, it's like this is
Gr-
super cool lore. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, like this is like fantastic lore.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not I don't believe it's being used to the
I thought,
level that it could be. And I think that's kind of sad in a couple ways.
yeah.
So,
Apparently, her name's Isha, the goddess. She's like the goddess of life, like the
yeah.
creator of life. And
Yeah,
so,
and
yeah. And
and
Nurgle,
it,
being the dark god that he is, he thinks that him showing love to her, is gifting her with the diseases and corruption
yeah,
that is
with
the
more
only,
diseases, yeah.
yeah, that's his way of showing love, which is like also like twisted and messed up because like obviously like that stuff hurts, and this is very interesting. But I did hear that like something about, didn't someone try to free her and then she like disappeared? So I don't know. I can't remember. I heard people talking about it somewhere on a forum. Isha is the Eldari
I
goddess of the harvest, fertility, nurture, life, healing, and growth, and the divine mother of the Eldari species in Eldari mythology. Eldari is just light elves. She is the mate of Kurnos, the god of the hunt. Ah, okay. Adepta Sororitas is a awesome, mostly female army in 40K with massive lore and different regiments and chapters. Many special people hate sororitas as they are zealots that also look hot. Oh my. Are we also going to talk about the Silent Sisters or the Sisters of Silence?
Yeah,
They're
but the whole point is that there's a ton of stuff for them to go down and do. The Games Workshop or Amazon or whoever was shoving it down their throat, going, "No, we want these particular soldiers that have canonically always been male to appear and have some females among them." Again, makes no sense. I and I'm convinced that this is that somebody whoever's behind this is just somebody who's got like a dommy mommy kind of like extreme fetish,
mm,
and they are pushing for this because they want to be able to film a 12-foot tall, you know, woman in one of these giant armor things, and it's like,
I
no,
mean, why don't
like,
like
like
is
who's
the
the?
our battle sisters not enough for you? Like, I don't understand.
It's because the Astartes are like 10 feet tall giants, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I remember.
and I'm convinced that somebody saw Lady Demetrescu or whatever the hell her name is, and they're like, I want this to be in Warhammer because I'm the creative person who's in control of this. And it's, I don't know who it is. It's somebody in the Amazon team who's who's crying and like having a hissy fit, just like stomping their feet and crying because they haven't been able to add this in because they really want this one weird fetish thing. Because that's what it is. It's like there's no other explanation for it. You're like, if you're like,
I mean,
oh no, it's about bringing
usually,
characters, bringing women characters who have like high levels of power. It's like we just talked about two of them. One of my favorite characters in the Warhammer universe is the Saint lady, which I can't remember her name. Blame the cold, the head cold. But she was killed saving this planet or saving these people, and then ever since she essentially became an immortal at that point. And whenever stuff is going like really really bad, like everything's like, the stuff's getting put up against the wall, is this is really bad, everything's terrible, she appears and like, kills and does some absolute amazing stuff, and then she usually ends up getting killed again, but then she keeps on getting reborn over and over and over and over again. It's like, there's a cool character. Add that character. All these characters that exist already in the show that you can just do, is all right there. So please do that because, like, instead of trying to ruin lore, it's like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I think I don't know. It just usually I was gonna agree with you that usually whenever they try to change things and for like these weird reasons, it's usually because they have some weird type of fetish. Like check out the new Harley Quinn comics. Like the newest
right,
Harley Quinn
yes.
comic that came out. They were like, "Oh, it's just a gag," but it was literally nothing but a fart fetish of Harley Quinn farting everywhere and just her breathing it in and being like, "I feel so good." I'm like, that is the most twisted shit I've ever seen in a comic. And somehow that, okay, it's not the most twisted thing I've seen in a comic, but it's really obviously like really gross. And I'm like, who? This wasn't the first time this has happened that someone had a weird fart fetish. There was also like a fucking novel that came out where like it was supposed to be like some weird spin-off with in Star Wars, and like I can't remember if, oh, it was turned into a book. It was a book and then it got turned into a comic, and there was a weird fart scene during the wedding between these like two characters. This was current day Disney Star Wars during the newer trilogy coming out, and all they did was just fart, and everyone was laughing and then joined in on the farting because everyone thought it was so freaking hilarious. And I was like, why is this here? Why is this scene in this story? What does this have to do with Star Wars? What does farting and inhaling your own farts have to do with Star Wars? What does Harley Quinn inhaling her own smelly farts have to do with Batman and the Joker? What does that have to do? Anyways,
So I found the character info. So it's her name is Saint Celestina or Celestine, and she was once a sister of Repentia, which means that she did some bad stuff to, get put into that spot.
oh,
And like alone, she discovers the sacred armor. She goes in, she puts it on, she, battles the things. She dies, but then she comes back, over and over and over again. And it's like, and now she's got like angel wings. It's like, it's a really cool story. It's not very deep. None of the Warhammer stories, aside from the ones that focus around a handful of the core characters, are deep. Most of the lore is about it's paper thin for the majority of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, there's this one dude who ruled the planet, and then he summoned demons and he died. You're like, and then no, no, that's the end of that story. It's like, oh, okay. Any other stories? Yeah, but there was this one lady who was responsible for like, you know, making sure that shipments of food and stuff got sent to proper places. But she like got tempted by this vile demon that was this nightmare from before time, and she started to like misappropriate the foodstuffs, and then people ended up starving, and she was sitting there cackling away in the dark, and then she got shot in the back of the head, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. Then what happened? Oh no, that was it. Like, I'm sorry, what? It's like stuff like that, where it's like the lore is extraordinarily like paper thin on like on the grand scale. It's all like microcosm, like little tight, like small conflicts here or there. Aside from the stuff that happens to like a handful of characters, and to be honest, they realized that this was a fault because they've been kind of trying to create a little bit more of a prime storyline because they were really missing that as a narrative. And what we see with that is we see that in like Space Marine, well, 1 and 2. We see that with some of the other characters that have been introduced here, there, and in other places. And yeah, it's like not to say that the short stories aren't cool. It's like a lot of their short stories are really cool, and they're bite sized, and you can listen to them and or read them in an afternoon. That's really great. But it's like I love like long, deep lore, and we really are missing like an overarching like primary series, like following like what's happening with all the biggest players in the universe right now over the course of this like one thing that's pushing, and they're starting to do that a little bit better, but it's such a broad and expansive universe that you can tell a billion stories at a time, but then none of them really matter that much because they're not the primary like big thing that's happening. And then they do stuff when they do stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, we split the universe in half, and there's this giant like tear, and like 40 quadrillion people died. It's like, okay, that sort of loses its emphasis. And it's like, well, but it's okay because they're somehow still getting a billion of these people to like send in sacrifice on a monthly basis, and you're like really like that seems like it's not that high. I'm exaggerating it, but it's like there's a lot of the stories where it's like the numbers just don't the math does there's a whole bunch of stuff where it's like uh, and and I'm really hoping that the new show with Superman is gonna like do a good job with bringing some coherence to the universe, because right now again there's coherence but there's not like a particular like set of characters that you go, oh yeah, these guys are doing stuff. It's like, no, there's characters in there, but they're not really doing anything. They're just there. They're doing stuff. They're not doing stuff that changes the universe. It's like listening to Game of Thrones and just watching as like Tyrion like goes through every like brothel in the world, and Bram is off doing his thing, and then a bunch of other characters are going fighting these general wars, but nothing actually like happens in the lore that progresses the overall story. It's like
Mm.
it's like that has started to happen with the return of Rupert Day Gilliman and with some other stuff going on. It's like that's starting to push that. The Tau is an interesting thing, but because the story isn't progressing, we're not seeing anything happening with that, and that's kind of garbagey in my humble opinion.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
yeah, no, there is cool stuff. It's just like I really wish that we could see like more of this stuff. It's like there were 4 chapters, Space Marine chapters that have gone missing like completely, and we just don't know what has happened to any of them at all. And it's like, oh yeah, you'll find out that something cool 25 years later. Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's like, dude, is this like, did you did you take lessons from George R.R. Martin about how to,
Uh,
like, um the word I want to use I can't say because it's a dirty word, but
Overhype.
it's like, yeah, it's like you're like, oh yeah, the undead are coming. It's like, great. 6 seasons later, where are the undead? Oh, they're coming. It's like, okay, okay.
Winter is coming, guys.
So
Trust me. Trust me. It's
winter
almost
is
here.
coming, and so that's sort of what I feel like, and I feel like they could be telling an actively, like pick a story and stick with it. And again, that's probably what the guy from Superman is doing, because you know he's raised a lot of those complaints in the past as well. So,
Well,
anyways, that's
uh,
that's my 2 cents on it. Probably really made
s-
a lot of people angry.
so, uh, such a pet peeve. Oh my. Polly says, in lore, Malkador once suggested to the Emperor that he should have made sisters for the Primarchs in order to avoid rivalry. Quote from Malkador, "You bet you brothers, such a nest of rivalries. I warned him to make you sisters, that it would make things more civilized. He thought I was joking. I wasn't." Many idiots now use this to explain why female custodies are a thing now. Um, if you think that some women or all women are civilized, you are very, very wrong. As a female, and as a female who was raised by with sisters and raised by a mother, I can assure you that not every female out there is nice and nurturing and sweet and the best that and keeps the peace and like not every woman. This may surprise you, but not every woman's like that. Some of them are very vindictive, petty, manipulative. They will eviscerate you with passive aggressive comments that have you doubting yourself. Like, women are not that great, guys. Sometimes they kind of suck. Just like not all men are great. Some of them actually really suck. So it's like, yeah, just saying like, oh, I say you guys should have had sisters so you wouldn't have. Bitch, sisters would have caused the rivalries in the first place. Like just because you got sisters in there doesn't mean it's everything's gonna be all fine and
There,
peaceful. Hell no, there'll be in the rivalry too.
there,
Like what?
there would have been other problems, is what you're
Exact.
saying, and I totally get
Yeah,
it. I totally get it, but
that was not gonna fix anything. It's just gonna add more rivalries. That makes no
I
sense.
mean, right now, like I hate to say this word, and again, somebody's gonna get really angry at me. It's like the vast majority of like it's like 99.99999999999 repeating, like probably like a couple thousand digits percent of the Space Marines are essentially incels,
What?
because they don't,
I
yeah,
thought
they
I
don't
thought they were
have
like
anybody.
I thought they were like celibate. Aren't they celibate?
Yeah, well, some of them are, because
How's that
there's just
incel?
nothing. It's involuntary, because they don't have the
They
ability to. There's nobody that they can actually like get with. Like
Oh,
there's
they're
no
not
like
celibate?
eight.
Oh, right. Okay. Actually, now I remember. There are some stories where like soldiers do
There,
get with women
there,
sometimes. I don't see
they're
how. They're fucking
celibate.
giants. How big is their
Yes,
and then
right.
how
They're
big are
like
the women?
10.
And then it's like how does that happen? Anyways.
Yes, it doesn't. That's the point. That's the point. It doesn't happen. So they're and the only like there are females in the lore that could, make that happen, like some of the Eldari women. It's like, yeah, they could probably make that happen.
Uh,
And there's like some of the females from the Tau race. Um, they
if you're
get
into
one or
that.
two of that.
If you're into that, okay.
Yeah,
I've seen the towel.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
okay, sure.
right. But it's just for the most part, it's like they don't, they're not fighting for anything. They don't, all except for the salamanders. Every single chapter hates normal people. Like they don't care about normal people. Like these guys will be like, these guardsmen will be serving their entire life, risking everything, like going through the absolute worst hell. And then they're walking down a hallway, and a space marine will look at them and just go, "What a what useless people! Like, oh my goodness, I can't
Cannon
believe that
fodder.
we have to fight and die for this cannon fodder over here. So dumb. But big fight. We like big fight." It's like, like that's the thing that I feel is like that's what I feel there's a hole in the lore with. It's like there's definitely a giant gaping hole in the lore with all these people who don't like the people they protect and they don't do anything with them. It's so bizarre.
Okay,
But yeah, that's
to reinforce, so I don't get confused. So they are celibate, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's voluntary because they go through an intense
some of them
procedure.
are,
Okay,
some of them are, some of them aren't.
I
Some of
think they
them
just
are
don't.
castrated. Some of
Ah,
them are so some of them are castrated, some of them are not, some of them are this, some of them are that. We don't like, and there's not really too much of an explanation around it because they don't even cover that. And again, that's
ah.
kind of weird because it's like, yeah, it's really weird, especially if the castration thing is true. But either or, it's like it just there could be like so much more, but they don't do anything, and it's just sad.
They're like,
So
it happens, no reason. It just does. Only ones who can still do it are some of Chaos Marines who get gifted extensions from Lord Sinesh. You know what? Fair enough. Praise be Lord Sinesh.
yeah, and again, the whole like Slanesh thing, and again, it's like yeah, it's just kind of. I wish there was something more for them because I feel sorry for the characters in the universe.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean, I feel like some of the books that have been coming out, a lot of people have been praising them. That like goes over lore and character growth, and you follow these characters through the universe of 40K. So it's like you get to experience it through their eyes and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know. Like I feel like the writing is pretty good, especially with Rogue Trader. It's so good. Can't
mhm.
Owlcat does such a great job with the 40K lore and stuff and making interesting plot lines and interesting characters and stuff. And I can't wait for Dark Heresy. I'm so excited. I can't wait to play as an Inquisitor. Being a Rogue Trader was awesome, but I also would love to be an Inquisitor too. So it's like I'm so excited.
Yeah, so and again, it's like I'm not asking for everything to be changed, but I would really like to see, that one show especially, um the one with the salamander. It's like, you know what I want to see at the end of that show? Is Salamander come home to like a nice little like home and like a wife and kids. It's like that's what I wish more than anything for that character because he's so nice, he's so sacrificial, he's so like he's out there doing his duty and helping people and he's actually doing it because he actually, wants to help people. But there's nothing for him to come home to. It's like, oh, yes, he gets to come home for more service. It's like, that's what Russia tells their soldiers. It's like, come on. I mean, come on. Like, anything could be better than this. I mean, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's just me. But yeah, that sucks. So at any rate,
I like
that's just my 2 cents on it. But we really got to move on to some of
Yeah,
these
I was
news
like I
stories.
like I like how we talked about Warhammer for like
Mhm.
20 to 30 to maybe almost 40 minutes. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, so EA has been doing some weird things. They've been reallocating money to make it seem like was it they have more value in the company than they actually do, like in their stocks.
Yeah, we
They've
talked
been
about this last
yeah.
week.
Uh I'm just like rehashing some of the stuff that's been going
Hmm.
on. Uh, they've been doing that. They shut down a studio and they've been canceling not one, not two, but multiple games. So it's like,
Hmm.
I don't know what is going on, but they said the reason why some of the games have failed is because of gamers. And that's just typical, isn't it? Like the reason why they're
Oh yeah, it's
failing and
typical
there's
EA.
while they're failing, why things are going wrong, while they're scrambling to make their company look better than it actually is because it's all the gamers' fault. How dare you get these multi-trillion-dollar companies to lose money because they have make shitty games? How dare you, gamers? Like, don't you have shittier taste that you would love these games? Apparently not. Apparently everyone's well, I can't say everyone, but most people, the majority of gamers have very good taste. And they don't like EA slop, which, fair enough. Oh yeah, MindsEye, two executives have left MindsEye. I'm a little jumping a little bit forward, but so I don't know what the hell MindsEye is even about, all right? All I know is that a guy gets like implants. He's going around shooting things in a car, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like GTA. It's like gonna be like a GTA 6 contender." I don't even know what the game's about. But then I saw more of the trailer from Summer's Game Fest, and it makes me think something to do with alien technology. Like the main character was implanted with alien technology, and I was like, "Oh, aliens!" Because like they were like showing like light coming from the sky or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, that's what we're going for." Well, it turns out two executives have left the project and the game's not even out yet. And you're like, okay, two execs. So these are not normal executives. This is the financial uh the guy who oversees the financials of the company and the person who oversees the law, like who advises law stuff over the company. So I don't know if it's called like a CFL or something like that, something like or CFO, CF something. I don't know what. Do you know what the titles for those would be? Sai.
Um, yeah, there's yeah, CFO,
Yeah, chief
anybody from
financial
the
officer.
C-suite. Yeah, but I mean, anybody from the C-suite is effectively useless in like the vast majority of cases.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't really sweat about it. Um,
Well, Mr. Luke Stevens actually brings up some interesting points. He said that if the person who's in charge of financials and the person who's also like a legal advisor are like leaving before the game is even coming out, allegedly. He thinks it's because they can see the writing on the wall and the game's not going to do well, so they're like jumping ship before things get uh sweaty. Like not in that way. Before things get, well, shit hits the fan basically.
yeah,
And
highly likely.
he said the fact that the chief legal advisor or whatever title he was is also leaving, allegedly, it may have something to do with they may or may not have maybe perhaps there's a chance that they may not have done quite legal things. So that's why he's like distancing himself him and the chief finance are like distancing themselves as soon as they
Yeah,
can. So
especially on a dying ship that requires finaglery and BS to actually get something done. Yeah, that is highly likely. Um,
yeah. So I can't wait for the game to come out so I can understand what was going on behind the scenes for that game.
what they did to screw it up.
Yeah, very curious. I mean, they already said that the demo was broken, so that just means that the game itself is probably like really broken. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. Analyst, Apple might be considering acquiring Unity to offset the loss in the lawsuit with Epic Games. What? Oh, I was like, what's Unity? And I was like, oh, Unity helps. makes programs and stuff. I was like, oh, that's not good. Not Apple buying Unity. Unity is already a cash grabbing POS. Like they don't need Apple getting involved too. Okay. This is the last story I wanted to go over because the drama behind this was so interesting. But basically there was a gotcha game called Girls Frontline and they made a sequel. I forgot what the sequel was called. It's like X Lives, X Lives, Girls Frontline, X Lives, something or other. Okay, so the gotcha game
It's
is
called
like
Girls Frontline to Exilium.
Exilium. Thank you. So it was just a very intensive dating gotcha game. Like they put a lot of intensive mechanics in the game to make it like as immersive as possible for you to like date your favorite girls who are guns. Like okay, so they're not guns. They're like robots called like T-dolls, but they're like named after military weapons. So like they're like gun girls. Anyways, the mechanics were like very intensive when it comes to interacting with these, characters and stuff. And there was this one character in particular that Chinese players fell in love with was because was it not only does she have a very like sweet, nurturing, calm, kind of I wouldn't say stoic, but she was like very, mature personality. But she was also named after a very popular Chinese gun. I forgot what it was called. And she had no one said it, but I saw her character design. She had massive jugs, all right? They were huge. I was like, "Oh my god, those are like
Like what? Well, I mean,
they were big. They
water
were
jugs on when you're out in the field and it's hot outside. You got to make sure you carry enough water
yeah,
jugs.
she
That's
had
the jugs you're talking about.
they were
If
so
not
giant.
jugs, then maybe some nice cool melons. You know, some nice big cool melons for being out in the heat and whatnot. Yeah, I get
I
what you're saying. Yeah,
she
yeah, we
I'm just
understand.
saying she had more going on for her than the other females and I was like, "Oh, really? Are really Chinese players?" Anyways, uh they have taste. Anyways, so the Chinese players fell in love with this chick. I'm just going to go ahead and call her Diane. Apparently uh she had a different name in the first game, but in the second game they got names. Anyways, uh her name's Diane. The fucking game imploded. Guys, you don't understand. The first game was so good that
Did it
they released
really?
this. The first game was so good that the second game released and everyone was so excited and it was even more immersive than the first game. How like they had like interactive scenes like you were like actually in like VR chat with these characters. Like it was so there was like a lot of cinematic like immersive scenes where you like play games together and uh you um you I don't know how you say this. You
You
can
flirt
get
with them.
yeah,
It's you go into
yeah.
their room and you hang out with them.
Yeah,
For
sure. That's what
full
the mechanic was.
transparency, I I do have this game installed on my computer and I've played exactly 0 minutes of this game,
Oh wow.
despite the fact that it's been on my computer for like since it came out, just because I haven't had time. But I heard that it was a really good like turn-based like grid-based shooter, which I was like, "Oh, that's totally my jam." With like different like character, like you get a heavier character, a lighter character, like yes, please, this is exactly up my alley. I just
Oh
have never had
yes.
a chance to get into it.
Sure, that
Just
was the reason why. That was the reason why.
not enough
The
time.
the
Not
romance
enough time.
mechanics
Yeah,
had nothing to do with you getting the game, of course. Sure, sure.
I didn't even know they existed until just recently.
Okay, so apparently in the first game, like there was like a storyline with the characters, and then you can actually marry your favorite waifu. Don't forget, guys, this is a gotcha game, so you have to make pulls and stuff for your like wives and stuff. But you can actually, have interactive scenes with them and stuff like that. And everyone, especially the Chinese community, went crazy for it. Of course, the second game comes out. It takes place 10 years after the first game. So the girls were like in a unit, but then they all disbanded uh for one reason or another. And so you, as the captain, who was the captain of the unit, has to go and like reconnect with your squad, especially your, wife or whatever, whoever you married at the end of the game. Oh God, and this is where things went crazy, guys. Like gotcha game drama is so fascinating. Okay, so
So this is weird because I did just check the Steam reviews and they're all quite high. So I don't know where the
so
drama's
this
being
happened
reported from, but
this happened when it released in China overseas. When it came to America,
oh okay.
it didn't affect anything, but when it first released in China, people lost their freaking minds, dude. Okay, so what happened was is that
Clearly.
apparently there was like a huge, because if I explain it to you, everyone be like, I don't get it. There's a huge cultural uh difference between Chinese players and American players. Just listen to me, guys. Okay. So the second game comes out. The captain reunites, or the Chinese players reunite with their lovely wife Diane. It's been 10 years, and there was a storyline. Apparently, each girl gets a storyline to explain like what they've been doing the last 10 years while the captain and them were separated. And for Diane, apparently she became a singer. She became a singer because she's very good at singing, and so she became a singer and she was performing songs. And there was like after her performance, she was hanging around backstage, and there was a man who noticed her, and he came up to her and he was like, "There's going to be an attack. You need to get out of here." And she's like, "What?" And then, lo and behold, apparently it turns out that there's going to be a terrorist attack on that, in that city, in that area. And so I think she was able to alert the police and them before, the bombs went off. And then she approaches the guy who told her, about the bomb. And she was like, why did you do that? He was like, well, he goes into a huge sob story about like how he was disillusioned on how the government was working, and so he joined a terrorist group. But then he
Because that's
saw
always helpful.
yeah, and then he saw this beautiful lady, and he was like, "You remind me of. I heard you singing, and you remind me of my mom, and I didn't want you to get hurt, and it made me rethink about my stuff, about me being in a terrorist group. So I decided to, warn you, at least to save you." And she was like, "Oh, you poor man." And then she basically helps rehabilitate him because he was a terrorist. Like he went to jail because he was a terrorist. So he went to
And
jail, and she helped him
let
through.
me guess. I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Are they angry with this because she spent time with him and not the player?
Yes, they
Okay,
they said they
yeah.
said that it was okay. Apparently, there's like different themes with the female characters, and they said that for this theme was like an NTR theme.
I was about
And
to say they're probably thinking this is like some NTR BS.
and
And
everyone
of
lost
course
their
it is.
they lost
Lost
their
their
freaking
goddamn
minds.
minds.
Yeah, like the Chinese community went crazy. They went review bombing. They were like harassing the dev team. They were
The
harassing the
VAs,
the
the
VAs.
devs, the
They went crazy. They were like, "What is this shit?" Like, and the guy who was like covering the story, he went through it and he was like, "So you got mad that your chick was talking to another dude? It wasn't even in a flirty way. She just called." And they were like nitpicking everything. They were like, "She called him Mr. Raymond." It's like, oh, okay, okay, like, okay, what's that about? Like, I don't really get it. So she said, like, so you say like honorifics when you talk to people in Japan? Like, I don't understand. Like, she used honorifics for him. Like, was it a special honorific? I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't know if it was a special honorific, but I'm assuming it may have been like a really respectful honorific that it pissed people off. Like I don't know, but uh, because you know how you use like Taiyaki-san, like Mr. Taiyaki-san, or something like that. Like you add an honorific with the name, so it's like Raymond-san. This is Chinese, so they didn't use that, but that's what I'm trying to explain here. But like the most respectful way you can talk to someone is like Taiyaki Sama. So if she was like talking to him, she would be like, "Oh, Raymond Sama," and then he'd be like, "Yeah, she called me Raymond Sama." Sorry, I'm just thinking about the Chinese players getting so mad. Anyways, so apparently in China, they totally believe in utter devotion. Like when it comes to love, like your lover loves you implicitly. Like if you die, they die. Like and if you get reborn, they get reborn as someone else, and then like you guys are like fated to be together. Like it's like really like intense love that well it was I mean it sound like it's just
Borderlines on
a very special love where you guys are like just meant to be is basically what it is. Like and they love you so much that they can't live without you, I guess. But like in a devoted way. Like I don't fucking know. Apparently it's very popular in Chinese media, but like it's been a thing in Chinese media. And so they're
yes,
like the
it is a
way
thing in Chinese media. It is not and it is prevalent in like especially the perspective of the I'm going to say the word again, the incel community in China, which there is a lot because when they had the one child policy, like 90% of the births were that were female were immediately like exterminated, like SIDS killed, aborted, whatever. So all of the majority of the people that were born were male. And so now you have like one female per like five males in the country. So
yeah.
it's very much it's like it's a huge problem. It's very much like they blow it way out of proportion. They do this kind of stuff where they're like they hyper fixate on this kind of stuff. It's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's just so dumb when you like think about it. Because I was like, so you're telling me that when you made the one child policy, you didn't foresee like don't like
No, they were
I'm
so
assuming China has like very good education, right? They have an amazing
no,
education. And
no,
they
they have
didn't
terrible education.
foresee the
They have
problems that
god
this would
awful
cause.
education.
They didn't
So
foresee that the birth rate would be affected. Okay, okay.
so it's worse than what you know. It's worse than what you know. Um, in this what is it, the 60s, the 70s, somewhere in there, the leader of I think it was Mao at the time. Mao calls up the United States and he's like, "Hey, can we give you like 5 million women or 10 million women or something like that?" And they just wanted to drop the women off because they weren't seen as productive members of society, so they wanted to get rid of as many of them as they could. So they wanted to give the United States like, 10 million something women. It might have been more than that. But yeah, that was an actual like diplomatic proposal that they were wanting. It's like every person in your country, every man in your country can have a second wife. Think how great that would be for them. They would like that because we think that's dumb because women are obviously not helpful and can't do anything because they're all useless, blah 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 blahs. That was their thinking. So it's worse than you know. It's not only did they get rid of as many women as they could via birth control, but they then like they went out of their way. There's some very rough records that detail some really terrible stuff that happened to
Yeah,
unwanted girls, and that was very common in that time and location. Happened a lot, and it's
yeah.
terrible, absolutely terrible.
But it's just, yeah, it just, not only is it like a devotion thing culturally, it's also like loyalty and stuff like that, but it's also like they're like the way she said Mr. Raymond. It's the way that she said it. And honestly, when I listened to it, it
Yeah.
didn't sound sensual at all to me, but that was me. That's me
No, it's
personally.
it's
But they were like,
it's
she said it in like a gentle way. And it's like, well, she's kind of a nice person. So, of course, I think she would be like kind of understanding of him, like being disillusioned with the government and then joining a terrorist group and then realizing maybe I don't actually want to kill people. Like, I don't know. It's just like people are going crazy. Anyways, so, okay. But to be fair, it wasn't just this. It wasn't just this. Apparently, there was like a Valentine's Day event and like everyone was giving the captain like cute gifts and stuff. But if you got a gift from Diane, she gave you a fucking toothbrush. She gave you a toothbrush. Only so it's like people are freaking out because they're saying like what the hell happened to Diane? Like this isn't the woman I fell in love with and stuff. To be fair, these gotcha game companies really know what they're doing and they really
oh yeah.
prey on lonely men. So they make it as interactive as possible. So when people say I'm in love with this lady, they're probably telling the truth because like they made rings that you can purchase for your for that you can wear like for your wife and stuff. IRL. I'm not joking. The gotcha game company legit sells rings that you can wear with your wife. That is not real. Like they prey on lonely people. So it was only like a matter of time that a crash out like this would happen, like something wrong would happen and like they were getting review bombed. They were getting everyone was like harassing the voice actress who played Diane. Even the Japanese voice actress who was playing Diane, she got harassed. Like it was crazy. And some people said that there was an internal like I read through the comments of the video and stuff because like shit was crazy and I wanted to learn as much as I could. And someone said that the company actually did an internal investigation and it turns out that there was a saboteur in their midst. There was a saboteur. Someone from another company infiltrated this dev company and they got was it they purposely wrote Diane to have like the worst storyline like ever to purposely sabotage the game. I was like, no way. That's crazy. If it's true, that's crazy. But they said that they since fired that person who was in charge of Diane's storyline and they so what happened was is that the first game came out and they decided to go ahead and greenlight the second game and then the second game came out but they were still working on the first game so the writer of Diane was still like the original writer of Diane was still working on the first game because they were trying to like finish certain events up before they totally sorry they totally moved over to the second game and so when they found out about the saboteur, they fired that guy, got the original writer for Diane to work on Diane in the second game. And so there's been like updates and stuff. Her storyline's a lot better now. And things have pretty much like now the game is positively reviewed. Everyone's happy now. But that was insane. That was an insane drama that happened with was it girl girls frontline Exiliminum.
Exiliman, yeah.
Exilimin. That was crazy. I was like, what? Tune in next week for my next gotcha for my next gotcha storyline because we talked about Infinity Nikki, we talked about Front Girls uh Girls Frontline. I can't wait to see what other stories I find.
What other new bull is gonna come out of this?
But yeah, but like I said, when it released in the Western Hemisphere, no one really cared because they weren't really privy to the, you know, they weren't really privy to the cultural references, I guess. And honestly, like I said, when she was talking to Raymond, it didn't sound sensual at all. But to the Chinese, I don't know. I feel like they were already keyed up, and they're like, "Oh, she's
There
flirting
there
with
are
him." It's like,
so there are some people who treat so there are some gotcha players who play these gotcha games that they select their favorite, and then they will never ever 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 do any of the romance stuff with another character,
"Oh
because
yeah,
that's how they like look at that, like this is my character, this is the my character. And so when they get upset that nothing has really happened for their character in a while, like they haven't had any updates, new skins and stuff like that, they will get mad and they will quit playing the game because their character, their waifu, which they treat as their actual waifu, some of them have actual marriage ceremonies with the waifu.
yeah."
Oh, some people are
So,
so special.
oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Okay, so when it came to the updates, they tried to fix Diane's storyline. They updated it to change Raymond into a female. They thought if they changed Raymond into a female, it would,
It would make
abate
everything better.
it would abate certain things. They were like, no, we don't like the way that she's talking about it. So they erased the Raymond line altogether, and people were still mad. And so they just totally just rewrote the whole freaking storyline. They trashed everything. They're like, there is no plot line about terrorism stuff. We're rewriting the whole thing. And then yeah, after the original writer came back for Diane, everything. Oh yeah, there was also apparently people said they're making references that Diane was a lady of the night, as it were, because she was a singer, and apparently in China, if you're a performer, that's
Cabaret singers,
your
yes, that
idols
you're
and
viewed as
singers
a lady
were.
of the night. Yes, the culture has just so many absolutely
It's
how do
not
I
that
say
far
this
off
delicately?
it's not that far off from how America works, like the casting couch, as one would say. Like if you want to get anywhere, some people have to do some things in order to get ahead of others. And yeah, but that's also another thing that the Chinese players got mad at, was that they're saying like, "Oh, are you saying because she's entertaining influential people, she's one of, she's, yeah, what is it? She was on the casting couch? Is that what you're saying?" And then yeah, I can understand that aspect of it. I can understand that aspect, but I'm just saying some things I didn't understand, but that I can understand because it's kind of happening in the American industry in current day, so it's not that far fetched to understand. But yeah, that's just some of the drama that I discovered. I can't wait to learn about other gotcha drama. I'll keep you updated. Anyways, Smite 2 developer Hi-Res Studios let go president and other executives. I don't play Smite, so I don't know. In a
It's
major
like to actually come out yet.
In a major change at Smite 2 developer Hi-Res Studios, the company's president and other executives have been let go. I think someone said something about an internal coup. I don't know if that's true or anything. I don't know. It should, some. Oh, hi, Lazy Clay Gamer. Welcome in. Uh,
Oh yeah,
games.
it did. It came out last year. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
I I
I used to play a little bit of Smite, like not as much as like some people do, because some people are crazy for it.
I
But
guess.
yeah.
Hi, Lazy Clay Gamer says games that I don't care for. MindsEye, any gotcha games, any Souls-like games, not because the genre is terrible, but it feels like the market oversaturated. Fair enough. And anything Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online expansion. I know expansion and new game isn't the same, but still, those are all valid points. I just like I don't like gotcha games, but the dramas are interesting. Uh, The World Ends with You director Tatsuya Kondo leaves Square Enix after 29 years. That happened. Uh oh, we already talked about the Epic versus Apple case. Uh that shit. So, I don't know. It was all like legalese. It was hard for me to keep a track of what exactly they were saying. But basically,
Hmm.
Apple was making it harder for like Apple had like a stranglehold on their app store to the point that they were like you have to pay 30% revenue and you can't like get like earn money outside of the app, if that makes sense. I
The
think
particular app store, like
yeah.
they don't want to send, they don't want to let you send people to your website or another app to make a purchase that bypasses their store because it's their store and they are in charge of it. And if you are making money without their approval, so there is going to be some very bad things that happen to you. And this is by no means something to do with the fact that we may or may not be Nazis. I mean,
Ah!
that is a rumor.
But basically they were like you can't do that, and was it Epic did baited them in like a very clever way.
Yeah,
They baited them. Epic was like, okay, let us try to like make a third party way for people to, get certain was it currencies and stuff like outside the App Store. And instantly Apple was like, you violated our TOS. And then Epic was like, aha. And then that's against the law. And so they were like, we're taking you to court. And then, yeah, so it turns out what Apple was doing was illegal. Shocker. Corp- uh, Giant corpos doing
yeah.
illegal things.
Once it got pushed through to the actual Supreme Court and got actually fire tested, it's like it was always going to fail because you just can't you can't have giant mega monopolies. Like you just can't have them. I'm sorry, it just does not work. You cannot have a giant monopoly. It will cause problems down the road. You might think that if you're the head of a giant mega corporation, you will think, "Oh no, we like monopolies. I want to be in control of absolutely everything." And again, it's just like, yeah, no, you can't do that. This is definitely going to come back to hurt you in a way that you are not expecting it to. Like you have to see this. Like you have to, yeah, but they don't because
I also heard like during the case, the judge put like a stipulation on Apple, like they're not allowed to do something or they're not allowed to do certain things, and Apple went behind the judge's back and did the thing
yeah,
she told them not
yeah,
to, and
yeah,
they ended up pissing off the judge because that's always a good thing when they're on your case. You piss off the judge, and the judge was like, you know what, that's it. I think they like did she fine Apple?
yeah. No, it wasn't a. It was not. It was not a good day for Apple. Apple, they got into some big trouble. They got into some very big trouble, and they are not having a good time.
Yeah,
Um.
honestly, it's their own fault. Like, damn,
Oh
Apple
yeah,
changed
100%.
after Jobs died. You've changed, Apple. You've changed.
Yeah,
Uh,
and not for the better. Complete and
yeah.
total stupidity.
Night Rain reviews. So Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain came out, and I've heard surprisingly, because at this point, like when it comes to like Elden Ring and the studio that developed Dark Souls and stuff, they're like guaranteed successes. So color me surprised when I heard that Night Rain reviews are actually pretty mixed. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But apparently it's supposed to be like an open world three player co-op where you go around in, like, I wouldn't say a sandbox map, but it's like you go around semi-open world area to battle bosses with your friends, but there's like no text chat and there's no proximity or voice chat for the game. So it's like you can't really communicate with people, but you partner up to go kill creatures. I don't know. But yeah, people have had mixed experiences with the game. I'm just saying, I was just surprised about that. I thought it would be an automatic
Mhm.
success, but I guess not. Well, I wouldn't say it's not a success. There's just some things that people don't like about it. So I was like, I don't know. Oh yeah, the price hikes for Nintendo could shockingly cost them big time. And we've been talking about the price hikes for a while now and how it's just not feasible with the current economy. Like everyone's like is so blasé about people shelling out hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like the average person can't afford that type of hobby. Like not a typical don't get me wrong. There's like Warhammer. I've heard the stories of Warhammer 40K nerds who spend like thousands upon thousands of dollars to buy like sets and stuff. But it's like that's if you're like really dedicated. And it feels like Nintendo is trying to price out the normies who like casually play their games, and they're trying to like sink their claws into the people who they know will spend money no matter what, like the mega super fans. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
really trying to go for those people because it is absolutely insane. Their pricing was absolutely insane, and not gonna lie, I have seen some people. One of my coworkers actually bought the Switch 2, and I was like, "How is it? How's it run?" And he's like, "Oh, it's pretty good and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess it would run pretty well if it's just a small screen, so you don't have to worry about enhancing graphics, because it's just a small screen." So it's like having enhanced graphics on a small screen is like not that un like it's feasible. It's not like impossible. I asked him about the voice chat. He said he didn't get it because what is it? They charge you for it. And I was like, understandable. And I was asking him like, what exactly does he have, bro? I found out that there you can't get past certain segments in games unless you have certain accessories for the Switch. And I was like, goddamn Nintendo, how how much are you really pushing? They're really pushing this because they want you to buy the Switch 2. They're literally forcing you away from Switch 1 to be on Switch 2. You cannot switch. Get it? You can't switch from Switch 2 to Switch 1.
That's very funny.
Like you can't do that because if you try to, Nintendo will wipe your game saves or wipe your like do a total factory reset on your Switch 1. So they want you to stay on Switch 2. They don't want you to go back to Switch 1. I have to emphasize that the guy in charge of Nintendo right now, at least in the West, I don't know if Nintendo has like two different in Japan and in the West, but the guy who's here in America, he's a EA executive. Like he's the one who did all this. And he's a
Hmm.
part of EA. He used to be a part of EA. So of course he's going to be nickel and diming anything because that's what EA does. EA nickel and dimes to their detriment. So of course he moved on to Nintendo to nickel and dime the heck out of it. And look, it's already ruined Nintendo's reputation. They're really banking on Nintendo having a good enough reputation that they can get away with it, but it's already affecting Nintendo in a negative light. People already during the explanation live stream, everyone was telling them to lower the price of everything. There was like, lower the price. No one can afford this. Lower the price. And of course they didn't listen. But guess what happened? People still bought their stuff. Ooh, like, am I surprised that people bought their stuff? Not really. Come on, it's Nintendo. Like, of course people are gonna buy their stuff. Just like I'm not surprised people bought COD. Like COD 6. Technically, COD 6 is underperforming than it normally does, but people still bought the game. You know, a good chunk of people bought the game. So it's like, I'm not surprised that people still shield out for Nintendo, even though it's a shadow of what it used to be. Well, now people are saying it's a shadow of what it used to be. I'm not saying like they had a history of doing this, but this was just it was such a shock because everyone was expecting the greedy companies to do this, not Nintendo. Nintendo was like that the family friendly, totally wholesome, we give you free games if you buy this console company. That's like when the Wii came out, you had Wii Sports already installed in the game, pre-installed. Like, where did that
Yeah,
go?
but
Where did that go?
that was their flagship thing, and Nintendo's always been kind of greedy. Like they really have been.
Fair
Like
enough.
and they don't listen to what the players are asking of them. They do not listen to the requests that the players have. They do not go, "Oh, you're wanting to have this or that or this other thing. Okay, well, let's do that for you." They're very much like they have this idea, this concept of like how things are supposed to be, and then they just make you exist in that wheelhouse somehow. And if you don't, then it's like then there's something wrong with you as a customer because that you're wanting things that they don't want to give out.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because it sounds kind of like again it sounds kind of like rude and whatnot, but that's how they've been for a really long time. Like they
Yeah.
have genuinely been like that for a very long time.
Yeah, I forgot about it was Nintendo who owns Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
They
I briefly forgot about that moment in time where they went after Power World. Anyways,
yeah.
Black
So
Flag remake has been hinted at by statue makers. So apparently, people who have been obviously contracted to make uh, merch for, you know, the Assassin's Creed franchise, they said that they were asked to make statues for Black Flag. And so people are speculating that there's going to be a Black Flag remake. Every time I hear a remake, I always get skeptical because whenever they do a remake, they feel the need to make changes. And they're never for the better. And they always affect females. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's going to be bad and it's going to affect the women that are in Black Flag. So there's that. I'm just what is it? I'm calling it out now because that's what they always do. Because that's what happened with Oblivion remake. The remake came out, everyone loved it, but then people realized, wait, they censored the women a lot, like a lot, like a lot. Like women are wearing thick ass vests that cover their whole body because we're not allowed to look at women. Like we're not allowed to look at the human form at all, guys. Even women aren't allowed to look at the women form. Like, can we stop with
oh
this?
no, only if they're extremely like pudgy or ugly or like androgynous, then that's okay. But yeah, you're right. You're not allowed to
And they also did it with the
you're not
Silent
allowed to have the other stuff.
They also did it with the Silent Hill remake. Like, I don't. they did something with this brown haired chick. I don't know who she is to the main character. Like I don't know if that's his wife or like some chick he meets in the Silent Hill area. But there was a huge, obvious, very obvious facial change that they did in the remake that made her so much less attractive. And everyone's like, Reaver, you need to stop hyperfixating on the attractiveness of women in games. And it's like, well, why are they making such blatant, obvious changes? Like, they're doing this on purpose. It's not like they did this on accident. They're like, oh, we have this model. We can easily just copy this model and just make it into a new engine. No, they purposely made her face from a diamond shape to a bold, thick, square shape. Her nose is like more sticking out and prominent than it was in the previous game. They do this shit on purpose, guys. They put effort to change them on purpose, and it just pisses me off because it's only women who go through this. To be fair, when they
In
actually did,
intentional uglification.
and it's like only women go through this. To be fair, though, I will say I didn't like the remake version of what's his name? Was it Lucio? Luca? Like there was this guy in Resident Evil 4, 4 remake, I believe, where it had a Leon Kennedy, and then there was this like Italian guy. He shows up in the game and he helps Leon out. But he was hotter in the first game, and then in the second game, I'm sorry, the actor who played him, but he did not look as attractive as the guy in the first game, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, like that was the only time where that there was a change that was made for that to happen on the guy side. Look, he's just not. I feel like people are gonna get hate me for making a comment like that. Like he's like fairly attractive, I guess, but in the first game he was attractive. In the second game or the remake, he was not attractive. Like they were able to get Leon to look the same in the original game. I don't understand why they couldn't just make the Italian dude the same, but more enhanced in the remake. But whatever. I digress, I guess. Ugh, I just can't wait. I can't wait for them to change the fact that what's her name? Red Bonnie Red. What's her name? She was
I
like
don't know.
I think her name was like Bonnie Red, I think. She was a part of the main character, the guy who played the main character in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. He had a person on his crew named Bonnie Red. It was a woman dressed as a man. I can't wait for them to remake it to her saying that she always felt like a man and she never felt like a woman. Like put like trans stuff in it because they can't help themselves. They always feel like doing that. Uh, but I'm just calling it now because that's what they always do. They do stuff like this, so I'm just calling it. Uh, People can fly. I'm assuming that's the name of the dev team. Important update. Today, we made a very difficult decision to suspend the development of Project Gemini and Project Bifrost. The relevant current reports have been released to the market. The suspension of the Gemini project is a consequence of the fact that the publisher has not presented us with a draft of the subsequent content writer to the publishing agreement covering the terms and conditions of further milestones on Project Gemini, and the lack of communication from the publisher as to its willingness to continue or terminate the Gemini project. Project Bifrost was suspended due to the above and the analysis of the group's cash flow, which showed a lack of prospects for securing organizational resources and funds necessary to continue the production and release of this project. As a result, we have to significantly regroup as a studio and scale down our teams, which hurts the most. We wish to express our deepest regret and sadness over how these events have unfolded and our sincere gratitude for everyone's contribution up to this point. Sebastian Wachowski. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's Sebastian, CEO of People Can Fly. Um, what games did they make? Do you know, Saib?
N- Not off the top of my head. I was looking at this like a week ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, these guys."
Oh yeah.
That's too
Thank
bad
you,
because the
thank you,
announcements were
Chris.
out.
Thank you, Chris Adler, for Spider-Man. Also, yeah, they also fucked up Mary Jane when it came to like changing faces and shit. But anyways,
Oh, that was them,
huh?
was it?
No, they didn't. No, that's
Oh,
Insomniac. Uh,
that's what I thought. Head cold. I'm barely here.
you're fine. Hold on, let me see. People Can Fly. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, they were gonna make a game called Lost Rift, which, wait, did they make? So they made a few games. They made Outriders.
Oh,
Uh,
that's them.
they
Okay, well,
made
fuck them.
they made
Was it?
Bulletstorm. They made Painkiller. And then they were gonna come out with a game called, yeah, Lost Rift. What's Outriders?
Outriders was a yeah, I gotta check it. If they're the ones who made Outriders, then they're and if that's the Outriders that I'm thinking of, then yeah, screw them.
Outriders' brutal and bloody combat combines frenetic
Yeah,
gunplay,
yeah, it's
violent
them. Yeah,
powers, and deep RPG systems to create a true genre
yeah.
hybrid.
There was no deep RPG system in that game. They promised it, and it came out to be garbage. But yeah, no, they were that was not what was going on there. Again, not saying that I wish ill upon them in the form of like, I hope that they, don't have anything at the end of the day. It's like, no, that's probably going a little too far. Are they did they royally screw up a game that had so much potential and could have been so good? Yes. Did they fly it in the face of the people who were like asking for like balance buffs, and then they didn't know how to balance a damn thing in their entire game? Too stupid to like, come out with like actual proper mechanics planning, and then blame the players when the players hit a wall or had their entire gear screwed over. It's like, yeah, do people need to be overly angry about this kind of stuff? No, not really.
Ugh.
Not really. And probably don't need to lose sleep over it. But was it dumb, and was it stressful, and was it annoying, and did it cause a lot of us a lot of pain when playing that stupid game? Yes, it did. Like everything came down to a time crunch challenge. It was like, oh, do this map in 45 seconds. It's like, can I enjoy my time playing the game? No, you have to rush everything. And the story writing was garbage. Like, just genuinely terrible story writing. Like, absolutely terrible story writing. Like, no logical coherence to the story, to the content, nothing like that. Really just god awful writing. Yeah, no, they needed to trim all the bad people at that company in order to make anything successful ever again. I understand why nobody wanted to support them. Yeah,
Oof.
that's why. That's why. Learn to write a plot line that makes sense. Screw you. Oh God, I hate these people. Sorry, again,
No,
fever
you're
talking for the most part, but
you're
yeah, I
absolutely
like
fine.
it's like the storyline was so dumb, so predictable. It made all these grandiose promises in the lore and like, oh, this is going to be so cool. This is going to answer all the questions. Doesn't answer a thing. Is generally just poor writing. This is like I know people who write fan fiction that do better jobs than this garbage.
Uh,
It's like, yeah. Can we please get something better? Yeah, no, screw them.
like
Like,
you were talking about like RPGs and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I should probably check to see if Pathfinder's on sale because it's made by Owlcat, who made Rogue Trader, and I was like, you know what? Everyone keeps saying
yeah, that's good.
Wrath of
The
the
the only
Righteous is
my
really
only
good.
Yeah, it is. It really is quite good. My biggest primary issue with them, unfortunately, is that if you want the good ending, if you want the really good ending to their stories, you have to know things that you can't possibly know unless you know them. So in the first base game, you can't get the good ending unless you manage to collect all of these hidden things, objects in the map world. Once you leave some of these maps, you can never go back to it. So if you accidentally miss one, and it was like one of the first ones on the first map, you've just screwed your game over for getting the actual good ending. You won't actually get the good. You'll just get the bad ending, and then it'll tell you, hey, play the 80 hours that you just played, play that again, and then you play it again, trying to think, okay, well maybe this time I'll get the good ending, and you won't get the good ending. And again, that could happen over and over and over and over and over again. You could play the game hundreds of times, and if you're not a map um, bloodhound where you search every inch of every single map and you collect absolutely everything because you don't know that the storyline is based off of finding random objects in the world. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. That's kind of broken. That's kind of a an insulting thing that people do to people that they don't like. Like if I tell you a story and the whole time I'm withholding the primary bits of information because you didn't know that in order to get those bits of information for the storyline to make sense, that you had to log on to this website that you didn't know was there that wasn't referenced in the story, and you had to click on this link down at the bottom that looks like a normal icon, but it's not, it's a different icon. Then you get a page that gives you all the added information that actually makes the story make sense. That's what goes on when people do that, and I hate it so much. It's like, give some contextual clues to that. And in order for me to do that, what I would have said is like, when you play the game, it should be like, hey, there seems to be something really important on this map that you haven't discovered yet, and you're about to leave. You shouldn't leave unless you're really happy with not finding this very important thing that you will not be able to get later on down the road.
Hmm.
And then in Wrath of the Righteous, in order to unlock the one particular ending that I was aiming for, you, you had to find a bunch of invisible characters on a map that you can't know that are there unless you know that they're there.
Wow, what the
And
heck?
it's like, guys, really? I mean, really? And again, it's one of the many, many very good endings. So it's better than it was in the original campaign. But yeah, it's like I get why some people like really hate this stuff. Like 100%, totally understand. Totally right
Yeah.
there with you. I understand. I get it, and it's not fun. Yeah. So at any rate,
Well, hopefully they fixed that, or if they haven't already fixed it. I mean, that sounds like really frustrating.
yes, it is really frustrating, and I never finished the initial game because of that. Because like I was like halfway through, and I was like, "Where is this end? I'm headed towards the bad ending here. I really don't like this. This character just broke up with me, and like I don't appreciate that. Like I don't appreciate that coming out of nowhere." And I'm like, "Where is the where's the story here? Like, what's going on here? What's the direction? Like, what's going on here? And then I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah, no, you're gonna have the bad ending at your current rate, but it's okay because just play through the game again and unlock the character, the story ending by doing this one thing in this one like, excuse me, in this one like really hard to find place stuff, and you got to collect all these collectibles, and I'm like, what? So I look at my save record, and I would have lost 45 hours of playtime to back it up to the place where I need to pick up the thing. And I was just like,
Ah,
uh, why would you do this to me? Like, generally, like, why would you think this is like a cool thing? No, like what? No, like, oh, so not cool.
yeah.
And there was like, you make it so that you can, we had a good showcase today with the Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds, there's this bridge that you can find. This bridge is a really cool bridge. If you cross the bridge, you cross the bridge and you continue to push on with the story content of the game. It's like very cool, awesome, love it. How many ways can I cross the bridge? Like, well, there's numerous ways you can cross the bridge, but you can also not cross the bridge by doing other things that get you around the bridge. So like, oh, that's great. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want. I want the ability to do things the way that I want to do them. And if you screw up one way, there's always another way to do it. And that's with the original campaign with Pathfinder. It's like, okay, if you miss the items, then maybe there's a second way to get the same outcome by like learning something else or doing something else or fighting something else. It's like, no, 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 no. To get the good ending, if you don't pick up that one item on that one map, you're just screwed. And there is nothing you can do to fix it. You're just screwed permanently forever. You bricked your save. Now you either restart or you go in a completely different direction. It's like that's what's going on, and I hate that with a burning passion. I really, honestly, absolutely hate that with a burning passion. Anybody who does that is a bad developer who doesn't know how to write or do anything. It's like, screw you, buddy. I
Yeah.
really, that's really quite gross, especially when they take the romantic interest and they basically make them break up with you and then you have to kill them. It's like, okay, that is like, I didn't log in to play your stupid Shakespearean tragedy. Like, I'm trying to play a game to have fun here. Like, can we not play a Shakespearean
No,
tragedy?
you're making me scared because I'm playing Rogue Trader and I'm technically romancing a guy who's like an antagonist, but he can join your party. And I was like, no, what if that happens with my character? That I have to like
Right.
kill him. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I I don't know. Maybe they learned their lesson. I don't know. But oh, hold on. Chris said something. Chris Alder said, I hate this people. That's crazy to say. I hate this people. I think he was talking about like when you were saying like you hate it when people or when devs do stuff like that, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. When devs do that, it's terrible. I hate these people, not this people. Not these, not this people.
He's
People who do those kinds of things.
he has a
It
fever,
is
it's okay.
extraordinarily painful. Arg, I'm so
the
tired.
man's the man's sick and tired. So, um, a new game demo was released. It's called Hell Is Us, and it looks very, very interesting. I'm very interested in the game. I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks
Is it?
pretty.
I can't remember. There were a couple of like culty kind of games that had that like kind of feel to it, and I was like, yeah, this would be. I know some people who would be take
Uh,
some interest in this.
it says if war is closest we get to hell on Earth, it's because Earth harbors the worst of demons, humankind. An isolated country ravaged by infighting, discover the secrets of your past and deal with the repercussions of a mysterious calamity. So it seems like it looks like there might be aliens or dimension tearing, and it's up to you to help people, the survivors. And it looks and I love that the main character has this like pack on his back that looks like angel wings, and it's supposed to be like hell on earth, and you're like the savior. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's cool.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool. It might be something that Polyus might be into because he likes like the like post-war era things. So I thought he might be interested in that. Oh hi Kawakiri. Lurky's in a joke. What was the verb flirt line? They say love takes two, and I said two can play at that game. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's see. Witcher 4. Finally getting into the drama of Witcher 4. So, there was a demo that was revealed during what game show? It was during,
There was a lot of them.
I don't know which game show it was, but there was a demo that was shown of The Witcher 4 and the graphics and the mechanics. It looked so freaking good. But what people missed was that it was a tech demo, meaning it wasn't a surefire, this is totally what The Witcher 4 is going to look like. Don't get me wrong, I will say that Ciri looks amazing, but there were some. I know I'm getting nitpicky, and guys, I don't want to be nitpicky. I don't want to rail on the game as hard as I already have. But the animations of Ciri's face look really weird. Like there was like weird close-ups and like weird angles, and her
You're talking about the
eyes.
tech demo, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the demo. I'm talking about the tech demo. Her
Yes.
eyes
So the
got large for a second there, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then like her mouth kind of got a little bit wider than necessary.
so
I was like, "What the
so
freak?"
that
So
that tech demo is not the game. All those models that we saw are not what's in the actual game. Those are a translation of the engine taking their engine, the engine that they're currently building with it, and duplicating it over into these new tools that they have for the newer version of the engine. It
if
is
they
not
if they told me
an
they
existing thing.
if they told me that they used AI to help them with that, I would have believed it because the way that her
Yes,
facial
yeah.
animations and
Well,
the
they did
angles were
use
like
AI for it.
weird.
Yes, yes. So they definitely use AI to help them transition the models and the characters and the perspective that they're going for. They've moved all that over. That all got moved over. This is a yeah. So this is what they're going for with this thing that they're doing. And it's and I'm not exact. I'm not. I'm not right there with you. This was not a good idea for them to do this and basically be like, "Oh yeah, this is the new Witcher. Doesn't the Witcher game look good? Oh yeah, yeah. By the way, this isn't the Witcher game that you're gonna be playing. This is just this weird like amalgamation copy that we've made of it. Nothing is currently planned that we have here. None of this stuff is like planned for the game. None of it. And
And
you're like,
I was like getting really impressed too. I was like, ooh, they like actually put
yeah,
like
a lot of other people were
muscles
too.
underneath the horses and stuff so that you can actually see the muscle movement. I was like, that's really cool. Only to find out It's
It's
probably
not in the
not going to
game.
be in the game. Is probably not going to be in the game. Most likely not going to be in the game. What a fucking disappointment. Uh,
It
so
it was so weird of them to do this.
they
I
just
don't
want.
know why they did this. It
It's
doesn't make
because
any sense at all.
they spent all that government money from Cyberpunk 20 they received from Cyberpunk 2077, so they're like, please investors, please give us more money because we're starting to run out. Dude, I'm so fucking sick and tired of CDPR, like at this point. But anyways, every time I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, they always try to do some weird
Yep.
shit like this. Anyways, so I was impressed by it. It seemed pretty cool. They were trying to say that like if we improve this isn't what the game's going to look like, but if we improved the system in Unreal Engine 5, it'll look really cool, guys, like interactive systems and the, muscle movement of uh steeds and stuff and interacting with characters, and not only that, but like how NPCs interact with each other. So cool, guys. It's not going to be in the game though. Let's be honest here, because this is CDPR. Like, they make a lot of promises that they don't keep. And yeah, so the game's probably going to be potato. I don't want to harp on it. I'm really giving them the benefit of the doubt, guys. Just because I hate Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't mean that I'm not willing for them to change. But they're making it really hard. They're making it really hard for me to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? I'm trying. I am trying here. But with them doing BS like this, it makes me think that it's just going to be potato, because that's what happened with Cyberpunk. They did a fucking tech demo, and that's not what the game looked like at all. In fact, it came out a broken piece of shit. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens with Witcher 4. Anyways, yeah, that's what's currently going on right now. Everyone was saying that CDPR lied to them and making people think that it was an actual demo of what Witcher 4 is going to look like the actual game. It was an actual in-game footage, only to be like, no, it's just a tech demo. The game's most likely not going to look like this. And then everyone got pissed. And yeah, apparently they didn't do a good job telling people that it was a tech demo. And apparently they like worded it weirdly and very vaguely, so it made it seem like it was maybe the game, but then people, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think people said that they didn't do a good job saying it was a tech demo. They just made it seem like that was an actual in-game thing. But, you know, whatever. Stuff happens. That's why you take trailers with a grain of salt nowadays, especially when it comes to AAA studios.
Yeah, well, I mean, another great example of this is that they came out with the Dune trailer. When the Dune trailer came out, it said, like, in-game graphics. This is captured in-game. This is in-game graphic. Guys, this is in the game. If you play this game, you see what you see on screen right now. You see this in the game. And I was like, BS. That's not how that's going to work. And everybody else, not everybody, lots of people were like, oh, this is the most amazing. This is so cool. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to play it. The big game comes out this week. It's in early access. It's not out. And it looks like a game from like 10 years ago. Why? Because yeah, there's a developer version of the game where they can turn on and have all those fancy graphics and do all this cool stuff, and that but the nothing that you saw in the trailer was real. It was all fake. So that's the serious problem, that we keep having this garbage done like this. And they keep saying, "Oh no, this is totally intended. This is totally fine. Why are you complaining? This is exactly what you wanted, wasn't it?"
Chris said those are in-game models, the assets. They clearly said it's tech demo, and even on the screen you can see that they said not gameplay tech demo. Look, I'm just regurgitating what people said, all right? Other people said online said that they didn't do a good job stating that it was a tech demo, even though it blatantly said it was a tech demo on the screen. You know, people can't read, don't you know? But yeah. I'm just saying that like this just reiterates that the game when it releases is probably going to be potato. But anyways, because that's not even what the game looks like, so it's probably going to be potato maybe. Look, I don't have high hopes for the game. What do you want from me? Weren't you there for Cyberpunk 2077 when it first released? Everyone was there when that happened. It was such a. I really don't think they learned the lesson. All right. Pocket Pair Publishing and Surgent Studios announced first-person psychological horror game Dead Take for PC. Now this looks really I I am getting really into horror recently, and honestly the only games that have captured my interest are all horror games, and this looks pretty interesting. Was it? Oh, and it's by Pocket Pair, which I honestly was like I thought they were just they seem to have put their fingers in multiple pies when it comes to like different genres. Uh, isn't was it the game will peel back the entertainment industry's glittering facade to expose its dark secrets and features an impressive lineup of actors to be revealed in the coming weeks. Ooh, that sounds exciting. We're being secretive for a reason, said Surgent Studio CEO Abu Bakar Salim in a press release. The subject matter of this game is delicate and it hits close to home. When it comes out, and it won't be long until it does, I want players to think, I can't believe they actually did this. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Piquing my interest. I swear to God, if it's just surface level things, I'm going to be very annoyed, honestly. Uh, it says, find your missing friend, uncover the secrets within, brave and luxurious and haunting mansion in Dead Take. Oh, brave, a luxurious, and a haunting mansion in Dead Take, a first-person psychological horror crafted by Surgent Studios. Find your missing friend, uncover the secrets within. Step into an actor's shoes. Set out on a haunting single-player story shaped by real experience in the entertainment industry, discovering the monstrous cost of creation yourself. Of creation for yourself. As the actor, make your way through the mansion to piece together the story of how far a powerful executive will go to seal his legacy. Peer into the dark corners of the house and of your own mind alongside strange human-like creatures that seem to haunt your step. Okay, this looks pretty interesting.
Sounds like fun.
I just got interested in it because it was like publishing by Pocket Fair and they did Power World, so I was like, ooh, what else are they working on? Oh yeah, I made some comments about the tech demo. I was like, Siri looks beautiful, and the only nitpicks I had was that her facial movements were kind of weird and her eyes got big and the camera was awkward, but those are like small nitpicks. Uh let's see. Oh yeah, AI prompts will soon let a 10-person team build a game like what's it? Wait, AI prompts will soon let a 10-person team build a game like Breath of the Wild, where the AI is doing all the dialogue and you just write character synapses. Tim Sweeney predicts.
I'm glad that Tim Sweeney predicted something I predicted 5 years ago. Thanks for
Wow.
getting thanks for getting with the program there, buddy.
Honestly, I
But
think
no, I seriously I was definitely on the uptake when it came to that.
I think
It's
AI
like I
was a
saw that coming a
mistake.
mile away. We'll see. We'll see. There's a very high chance that it is a mistake, but we're not getting Skynet. There is no Skynet.
That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is just having AI do everything. So it's like, what's the point of doing anything
Yes.
if
Yeah,
AI is just going to do
that is a
everything?
problem. Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. So it's like, okay, we have AI doing this, we have AI doing that, we have AI doing this, 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 this. I'm like, then what do we do as humans? Like, we just sit back and do nothing? Like, that doesn't make
Right.
like what it's like where does that leave us? That's why I feel like AI was a mistake, because instead of utilizing it as a tool, we're utilizing it as a convenient, like we're just making it do things, like do everything. Like it just taking over everything. And it's like, that's what, like, I just, you know, I think AI was a mistake. And it's going to be a very long time before people, I mean, people are already saying AI was a mistake, but it's going to take 5 more years for tech companies to realize, wait a minute, this was a mistake. And it's like, no shit. Anyways. Oh, yeah. Twitch. Hi, Twitch. We're also streaming on Twitch. Is things are not going well for Twitch. The last couple of months, Twitch has been Twitch has been going through a lot of drama, and not
To say the least.
good drama. Uh, people, streamers, and Twitch itself as a company, because of certain decisions that Twitch has made, advertisers are pulling out of Twitch, meaning the company itself and streamers who stream on the platform have also been losing money. So yeah, I'm not surprised, because people don't believe me, but I listened to this one psychic on YouTube, and he's predicted that Twitch was going to fail like a year ago. He was like, Twitch is going under, and you guys need to get out as fast as you can, because it's not going to last long. And lo and behold, advertisers are already
So,
pulling out. It hasn't gotten bad yet. I will admit that. It
so
hasn't.
just just as a side note, also something I predicted a few years ago, but
Dude, the moment that I realized that Twitch was headed by the same people who also headed Twitter before Elon bought Twitter, I was like,
Mhm.
they're going to do the same thing that Twitter did. Because when Elon took over, he said that so much money was spent on frivolous things that did not
Oh yeah,
help the platform at all. Like, they spent money on luxury things. They spent like, was it like five, okay, I'm exaggerating, but they spent like a luxury chef for their lunches. They had a gym, they had an indoor pool, they had massage lounge, they had a sauna in like Twitter HQ. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like they spent money on such frivolous things. And it's like, do they even work? Do the Twitter employees even work there? Like, it was like a vacation pretty much. And it's like, how they, like, I'm not saying he did it. I don't understand how the tech business works. I'm just saying Elon discovered that they spent a lot of money on things they didn't need to spend money on. And I'm 100% sure that's the same thing that's going on with Twitch. They're spending money on things that they shouldn't be spending it on, but it makes their lives easier, you know? Like, we have millions of dollars, might as well spend it on nice things, you know? But instead of focus, but it's diverting their attention away from the platform and making it more better, I guess. Like, what is it? People have been talking about discoverability. Like, it's hard to be discovered on Twitch. So they
yep.
did make some changes, but it's still like not easy for people to get, pushed up in the algorithm, as it were. There's also an issue with ads. People are saying that sorry, not Twitter. Twitch has been crazy when it comes to ads. Every time someone joins a stream, they have to watch mandatory 6 minutes to 7 minutes of straight ads before they get to the stream itself. And it turns people off. That's why people go to YouTube, because at least YouTube has the decency of putting one ad in, like, at the start of the video, and it's only a couple seconds. You can skip it. But on Twitch, you cannot skip the ads at all. You have to sit there for minutes at a time, getting through the slog of ads just to get to the content creator you're trying to watch. It's ridiculous. And that's why people are starting to leave the platform, because they're just being predatory when it comes to ads. Because it seems like they're kind of losing money because they might be spending it on things that they shouldn't be spending. That's just my theory, though. That's not a definitive. I'm just saying that's
Well,
what I think might be
it's that
happening. But
it's also that they have a major issue with trying to push particular lines or trains of thought. And it's like,
ideologies, one
yeah,
would
like,
say.
yeah, certain ideologies. It's like they're more, and you see it in the way that they discipline. It's like when all of the discipline flows down one particular hill
Oh yeah,
and not
favoritism.
the other, that's at a much steeper grade. It's like there's something going on there. Like we can see
We've
what's
always
going on
we've
here.
always known that Twitch had a favoritism problem from the get-go. It's only blatant now because of certain ideologies being propped up more than others, and because it's actually getting into a legal territory that people are starting to get what is it? Getting antsy about it. Because the look, I've been streaming on Twitch, or I wanted to stream on Twitch for a while, so I kind of like got into like Twitch like I got delved into the Twitch drama of like what's going on in Twitch. They have been favoritizing e-girls on Twitch for a while. Everyone knows the e-girl
Certain of them,
epidemic
yeah.
of on
They and
Twitch.
they
They
and
they
but they built them up, and then
they
they've let them go ahead, go ahead.
No, I mean, you're right. They built them up and they let them do whatever they want, because and they if you are a VTuber on Twitch, Twitch makes it almost impossible to like have fun on their platform, because if you show a hint of any type of midriff, just like a sliver of belly button, just a sliver side of a hip, you get banned.
There's
If
so
a
there is
IRL female streamer does it, oh, it's creative, it's transformative, it's art. There's blatant hypocrisy and blatant favoritism on Twitch from the get-go. Everyone was even talking about how Twitch was the new hub because of how many was it pull IRL pull streams there were. How many like IRL stream girls do very questionable things on camera, but because it's not full frontal, it's not full nudity, then it gets a pass. Like, favoritism on Twitch has been a thing for years now, but because it's getting into more political, legal territory or illegal territory of then that's where things are starting to get spotty. Advertisers are starting to pull out and things like that. But it's like I'm just saying it's been around for a while, and it's like them getting into more hotter water, because I feel like there wasn't a strong pushback against the blatant hypocrisy of the TOS when it came to the female streamers, and because there wasn't a very strong pushback against it, I think it just led them to believe that they can still do whatever they want. So now it's gotten to a point where now it's this. Like, that's what I think is going on. because that's what usually happens when it comes to, was it people who do questionably moral things? When they get away with one thing, they'll start trying to get away with other things. I've read too many, and I've listened to too many crime podcasts, to not pick up on this stuff. Did you have anything to add, side?
So they definitely, so they propped up the female streamers to begin with because that's how you grow. That is how you grow a medium. We saw that on YouTube. They in the very early days of YouTube, they were paying girls $100 for them to upload a video, just of them talking, chatting. Like it was crazy. Um, and that was like way back in the day. That was before they got bought out by Google. That was before that whole thing happened. Um, Stuff like this, again, it's been around for a really long time. Um, but they do have an inbuilt like hatred against the VR people because the VR people are considered in a lot of ways. There's a lot of content creators, especially the females, who hate the VR people because they don't like how that makes them look, or they don't like how like they view it as like, oh, it's they're taking the easy way out on it. And again, it's like you look at like Project Melody. It's like Project Melody had some insane
I
level
mean,
hatred against
it's
her
it's just
when
it's
she
blatant.
started.
It's blatant that they just wanted. They're like, that's our money. They're taking our money away. That's money that
Yeah,
could be going
yeah.
to us.
So there, so there's some of that, but there's also the fact that they have all these like they got all these guy streamers that have like crazy egos and they do some really questionable things. Like there's lots of accusations. Not all the accusations are true. Some of them are definitely false. But then there's other situations and other scenarios where it's like, yeah, there's some clearly some like major problems going on here with this, that, or the other thing. And it's like, yeah, this is, again, it's like this stuff has been around for a really, really, really long time.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been like, and it's been getting worse. It's been getting worse, and it's like I don't know what the answer for it is, but whatever Twitch has been doing is not the answer for it because they have been causing way more problems than they've been fixing. The fact that again, like they favor certain people of a certain ideological leaning. They don't punish people who are on that side when they do things that are, I cannot believe, like I am in serious shock that the headquarters of Twitch have not been raided by the FBI.
Uh.
I am really shocked that this is not that this has been going on for so long, and yet for some reason they have not been raided by the FBI. Seems very like, maybe the clock's ticking. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really messed up. And Twitch's solution to this is to just come out and make everything fair and even and apply everything evenly. Probably look at Steam and go, you know what, maybe we can't control content. Maybe all we can do is like, make it so that anything that's an adult content or has like adult content materials just goes into this thing, and you have to have a registered account in order to go into this thing. It's like maybe that's what they do. I don't know what the answer is, but the answer is not playing favorites. You play favorites, you create hypocrisy, all you're going to do is bring the disease temple down on your head. It's like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Good luck with that.
Yeah. But time will tell, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Uh, so CD Projekt Red officially confirmed Cyberpunk 2.3 is
So,
coming on June 26th. We've been cooking in secret for a bit. So what's 2.3?
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if it's the same engine, if it's a new engine, if it's a new thing, if it's a different thing, if it's a yeah, I don't know what their I don't know what their plan is to go with that. Like I yeah, I don't know. It's curious. I'll just say that.
So Expedition 33, Clair Obscur, is under attack again. But for reasons that you wouldn't think. So there's two stories involving Clair Obscur. One is saying that because goodness, okay. So because Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was made with a dev team of thir- of 30 devs, of 30 people. Sorry, not devs, but a team of 30 people. Some people believe it might set a dangerous precedent that you need to have a small team in order to make games now. And they're like, that's not it at all. You need to work with a bunch of people. So technically, it's more than 30 people who need to make a game. Basically, they're just trying to protect, giant companies who have like 3,000 employees under their belt. They're trying to basically protect AAA companies. But my question is that okay, well, it's good and all that people have jobs. Of course. That's the angle that they're going for is because like, well, people need jobs, and like a lot of people want to get into this industry. You can make your own games. Like it has never been easier to make your own games. Like don't get me wrong, like working for a giant AAA company like really makes your resume look good, but you can literally just do what Clair Obscur did and then just make it yourself. That's all. You can do that. It's not impossible. Take your knowledge and make a game that you want to make because these AAA companies are definitely not doing that. They're not making games people want to make. They're making games that fill a quota. Like that's it. They have no passion for game development. They have no passion for art. They have no passion for storytelling. They just want to make money and that is it. They care about numbers, they care about trends, and that's it. They don't care about anything else. And they're trying to justify these giant AAA companies having a team of 3,000 to work on one game. Okay, maybe I'm being a little facetious. Maybe it's like a company of 3,000, but like the teams are all chopped up to work on like 5 different games. But even then, that's so many people working on one game that no wonder AAA games are coming out all disjointed and messed up as they are current day. Like, was it Assassin's Creed Shadows is a good example. It's a recent AAA game that came out, but it's just not good. It's like very watered down. And a lot of people think that because there's so much bloat in the company that when it comes to like the vision of the game, it gets so diluted. Like instead of having one person who has a clear vision of what type of story and what kind of characters they're trying to make, it's a committee of 20 people who are the heads of of the whole game. There's 20 people, a committee being like this is like trying to make their own vision of the game. And then you come out with slop like this. When you have a leadership of 20 heads telling you what to do, things are going to get messed up. I'm making up an example, all right? This isn't how companies are usually run. But when you have so many cooks in the kitchen, it's hard to like get a good, formula going, a good recipe as it were. I don't know. It's I'm getting tired of journalists trying to make the spin the story like, oh, having a small team. team develop a big AAA or a big AA game that's so popular, it's just a flash in the pan. It's so rare. You can't expect this to keep happening all the time. And it's like we have seen back to back indie games come out that just blow AAA out of the water. Fuck, Schedule 1 doesn't even have high-end graphics. They look like they're like freaking was it Simpsons NPCs in such a potato game. Like the graphics aren't even that good. It's so cartoonish, but it's a fun game because the guy who made it knows how to make fun games. I'm just getting sick and tired of journalists trying to was it what is it um shill for shill for bigger AAA games when the AAA games don't even deserve it. They don't deserve to be protected because I don't know. You're trying to make a shark look human. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they obviously don't care about your feelings. They don't care that you want to make a story that'll reach the hearts of millions. They don't care about that. They want to eat you. They're going to eviscerate you. They love the taste of your blood. They don't they
Yes.
they have soulless black eyes. They don't care about your wants and dreams and futures. They just want to eat you. That's all they care about. And yet you're trying to humanize these people. And it's like they're like, "Oh, they're working so hard to get games out to you guys." I believe the dev teams are trying their best with what they got. It's the executives who are the sharks. It's the executives who are the sharks. They was it desanitized games. It's corporate approved. A committee has to be together in order for everyone to come to a unanimous decision that yes, this game is not going to step on anyone's toes. This game is not going to offend anyone. This game is absolutely fine the way it is. Gamers are gonna love it. Shocker, no one loves it. If you try to appease everybody, you're not going to appease anyone. I think I said that right. I feel like I'm going on
True.
I feel like I'm going on multiple different rants, but basically I'm just I why can they just not take the L is what I can't understand. Like they can't just take it lying down. They always have to come up with some stupid excuse on why a small team did so well. They always have to come with some stupid excuse. And I'm like, can you just learn from your mistakes? Can you understand? Can you just understand you're not doing something right. You're obviously doing something wrong. You need to fix it. But they're like, no, it's not our fault. It's because gamers don't understand how things work. It's because gamers don't know what good quality is. And it's like, we do. We do know what it is. I'm just getting sick and tired of it. And not only that, Claire Obscure is also getting attacked because there is no diversity of ethnicity in the game. They say that the only person I really anyways, the one character that has like darker skin in the game, he gets killed off. Uh, Spoilers, he gets killed off early off in the game. And the main cast is mostly made up of pale people, even though I thought one of the women was actually Asian. Is that wrong for me to assume that? Like her features look distinctly Asian, so I thought she was Asian, but apparently she's not. But whatever. They're mad that there's not enough dark-skinned people in the game, even though it was based off of old French art. Like it's like based off of old French culture. Like I think the early 1900s, mid 1920s, I think. There's like it's like Epoque. I forgot what the term is. Like it's a distinct French style that the developers were going for. And they're just focusing on telling a story. If you actually look at the people behind the scenes, their team is made up of very diverse people from different backgrounds. The the head, the lead writer of the game is Asian. She's Asian. And yet they're saying like, oh, there's not enough white people in the game. And it's or sorry, there's not enough white people. There's not enough dark-skinned people in the game. And it's like that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like I don't understand whatever. It's just I don't know. It's just all surface level BS. I don't understand why they need to make these type of arguments. 3.3 Night City is going to be built IRL. Oh my. Creative disagreements are the death of final drafts. I think you meant to make a metaphor. Yeah, I guess so. They want to eat me? Ooh. Yeah, I know. They want to eat all of us. This reminds me of people defending Nintendo. It's just, yeah. It's all crazy. Like, can't we just enjoy how good Clair Obscur is? Alright? Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an amazing game. People have even gone so far as to say it's a masterpiece of a game. The writing is so well done. The music, the gameplay, it's the art. It's so beautiful. And if it doesn't win Game of the Year, I am going to boycott the Game Awards. I will freaking boycott the Game Awards if Clair Obscur does not win Game of the Year. I will freaking boycott it. I swear, I'm like just so sick and tired of like, was it the Game Awards being hypocritical and the fact that like, oh, they're like, oh, E3 was doing favoritism and they were corrupt. We're not going to be like that. And then freaking Game Awards is totally like that. They get paid off to literally the Game Awards is like the Game of the Year is to the highest bidder. Like it's not even like was it last year gamers had barely had any involvement in the vote. Like I forgot what the percentage was. It was like 90% of the vote went to the judges and then 10% was to the gamers. And it's like how is that? That's not fair. And then some of the judges weren't even gaming people in the gaming sphere. They were like Times Magazine. Times Magazine don't freaking play games. That's not what Times Magazine's into. Like freaking, it's like all these like there's some randos who were the judges for last year's Game of the Year awards. And it's like who the freak are these people? They don't even know what games are. Like they're so out of the loop on gaming culture that it's like, why are they here? Like it's such normie shit. And I'm like, what are you? And they have 90% of the vote. 90%. So it's like even like
Yeah, the professional journalists like they don't even cover like video game news. It's like yeah, yeah.
it, it's just and then fucking I am so mad that uh oh god, what was that? What was the game called? Bot Boy? What was it called?
Astrobot.
Astrobot. I am so mad that Astrobot won because it was a PS5 exclusive. It was a PS5. Sorry, I accidentally smashed my keyboard and I pressed a button. Anyways, it was a PS5 exclusive, meaning not that many people even played the game, and it won Game of the Year. Fucking how? 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 Like that makes no sense. I didn't want Elder Tree. I didn't want a fucking DLC to win Game of the Year. But no one played Astrobot. I've heard of Astrobot, but not everyone played Astrobot. Don't fucking lie to me and said, "Oh, everyone unanimously voted for Astrobot." Get out of here. No one voted for Astrobot. Get out of here. I'm so mad that like Wukong didn't win. Everyone was like, "Oh, Wukong was definitely a very good contender." But whatever. What do I know on how game awards are freaking run?
Well,
Uh,
that is definitely the problem.
oh yeah, I shared a video about Nintendo Switch 2 proves the industry's nightmares true, and I forgot what the video was about. I am assuming like them overpricing everything. Uh, oh yeah, apparently the Borderlands EULA, there was like a huge discourse with that. People were saying that like Take-Two was going to implement like spyware into your computer. Sorry, I burped. Like there was like this weird drama going on that Take-Two was like stealing your info or something like that. To be fair, whenever a game is live service, they're always stealing your info. They're always collecting data on you. So technically, they're not wrong in saying that. But apparently, the backlash has gone so bad that Take Two has made a response that was also like posted on Steam. So they said, response to recent community concerns about Take Two's terms of service. Hi everyone. We know there have been some concerns from Borderlands fans about Take-Two's terms of service. Maintaining transparency and confidence with the community here is always our goal, and we wanted to address some of these concerns. 1. Take-Two does not use spyware. Take-Two does not use spyware in its games. Take-Two privacy policy applies to all label studios, games, and services across all media and platform types such as console, PC, mobile app, and website. Then why do you need to constantly be online? If you're playing a single player game, why do I have to be online to play the game? It's because they're collecting data on you. It's always because they're collecting data. The privacy policy identifies the data activities that may be collected, but this does not mean that every example is collected in each game or service. Sure. I mean, they kind of just admitted that they do collect data, but it's not that many people, guys. That's what it sounds like. I could be reading it wrong. Take-Two identifies these practices in its privacy policy to provide transparency to players and comply with its legal obligations. Take-Two collects this information to deliver its service to players, including to protect the game environment and player experience. Okay, so when I say they collect your data, they collect your data and they sell it to third parties to make money. So they sell your data to make money. So there's like hundreds of thousands of people who play their games, and like one person's like $20,000. So, time like 20,000 times 300,000 people, that's a lot of money that they're making off of you. Allegedly. Uh, was it? Oh God, I lost my place. Was it? The game environment and player experience. You can read more about this in the privacy policy. For example, player and device identifiers are collected in part to ensure the game is compatible with each player's media, platform, or website browser type. It allows us to better understand how players play games and to personalize the user experience, like having usernames show up. Account credentials are collected from users who choose to create accounts with Take-Two and its labels. Take-Two does not permit abusive mods. Take-Two's terms of service prohibit mods that allow users to gain an unfair advantage. Is is Borderlands a multiplayer game? I know they
Yeah,
have I know they have co-op.
yeah. It's always been multiplayer. Yeah.
Uh, isn't that just cheats though? Unfair advantage negatively impact the ability of other users to enjoy the game as intended or allow users to gain access to content that the user is not entitled to. We do this to protect the integrity of the game experience for all users. So you can't mod the game at all. Take-Two generally does not seek to take action against mods that are single-player only, non-commercial, and respect the intellectual property rights of its labels and third parties. Was there something going on with the mods as well?
There's
I
always something going on with their mods, and they're one of the companies that do not like people modding their game because they feel that that's the they might those people might do it better than we do. That people might not want us to keep making the game. What are we going to do? It's that kind of stupidity.
oh.
And I do mean it in the most like vile way I can. That is some real stupid grade level stupidity, and it's disgusting. Some people should just not be making video games.
All right. Do you want to talk about the Summer Game Fest? I thought it was so freaking boring. I thought the Summer Game Fest was so boring.
Summer Game Fest was not the greatest. That is a for sure on that one. There were other ones that were like the PC show was sort of good. The Xbox One was probably the best they've had in ages. And
I
then
haven't
as
seen
far
it.
as everything else goes, interesting.
I thought Summer's Games Fest was boring, but I thought Future Game Fest was a lot more interesting. And surprise, surprise, it's because there was a lot more horror games they were showing, and I was like,
Yeah,
ooh, interesting. And because like I don't know what it is, but it's like it feels like they show like either childish platformers or just childish looking games. And I'm like, this is so boring. Can you give me something that's actually interesting? Like an RPG maybe. Like an RPG maybe. Or like a first person shooter that actually looks interesting or something with story. Like I'm getting kind of tired of seeing all these platformers and these childlike games. I'm like, can we get like a good like story? Can we get something interesting? And then the next freaking game the game show next game show was nothing but like goth horror, like mutants and possession and like blood, and I was like, this is it. And I was like, this was for me. And then they also showed a little like a sneak, I want to say like a little preview cutscene of Mafia Old Country. It looked so good. I'm so excited for that game.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
And I was so excited when they showed the trailer for what is it? I did a brain fart. Resident Evil Requiem. I was so excited. But talking about Resident Okay, so I was confused because I wasn't sure if it was a remake or not because I'm pretty sure there was a Resident Evil game called Requiem, but I think it was like a spin-off. But people are saying that it's Resident Evil 9. So I think I'm misunderstanding like the next installment of the Resident Evil series. I'm misunderstanding if it's a remake or not. Like I'm confused about that. So apparently it's a new entry. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Speak
yeah, it's new entry.
okay. Speaking of Resident Evil 9, dudes are already calling the Resident Evil 9 lead protagonist ugly. An epidemic of loneliness and misery is truly making some of you insane. And I totally agree with that. When I first saw the chick who's going to be the new main protagonist for Resident Evil 9, I thought she was adorable. I thought she looked attractive. I thought she was like, oh my god, she's going to be the new Gooner bait, you know? She's going to be the new it girl, you know? She's going to be the new uh Claire Redfield. Like she's going to be like
I
a waifu.
agree. I agree. I think she's. There were some people who were like, "Oh, she's not pretty." I'm like, no, she's just not in a pretty state at the moment. You just wait till we see some outfits. Her face structure is very nice, and her body form is pretty standard for like good looking person. So Yeah, I don't.
What
I think people were
do they
crazy.
not know what nerdy frumpy girls look like? Like I don't understand. She's attractive. What are you talking about? Like I'm so confused. I'm so confused. She's just the first moment you see her, her desk is cluttered
Yeah,
and she knocks things
yeah.
over.
She's a total nerd. It's hilarious.
She's frumpy. Like what? And then how can you think she's ugly? Like I don't understand. Like you know this what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that one actress who got caught without wearing her makeup on and guys were calling her ugly. And I was like, she's attractive. What are you talking about? Even without her makeup on, she was attractive. And the guys were like calling her ugly because what was it? Paparazzi snapped pictures of her going around her
Yeah, because
house
they're
without makeup
yeah,
on. And it's like
crazy. Yeah,
I'm like, are you sometimes it's okay not to listen to people, all right? It's okay not to listen. You don't have to listen to people all the time, guys. Like if you think that people are stupid for their opinions, you don't have to listen to them, all right? You can say you're wrong and then it's okay to say that. It's okay to tell them that they're wrong. And I'm here to tell you that the protagonist of Resident Evil 9, me, the person who has been adamantly defending attractive women in games, I find her attractive. She's an attractive woman. I don't understand why people are saying she's ugly. Like, she is obviously a beautiful woman. Like, I don't understand. She's not like thirst dependent, first dependent. That she's not that quality of like features. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to say I'm not going to was it no she's I don't understand. She's obviously pretty. I'm not saying she's gonna be in the first descendant. God damn it, I was gonna say first dependent. Anyways, the first descendant. Oh God, what is it called? Is it first dependent? First descendant?
first
I'm
descendant.
okay. I'm getting so confused on what it's called now.
I don't know. I haven't played that game, so I'm not positive if that's the one you're talking about. But yeah,
I don't know. I think she's actually very attractive, and plus, I don't know. Maybe I have a soft spot for her because she's obviously a clumsy, kind of shy, stuttery, timid nerd girl, and I can relate to that. And I'm like, you know what? She's adorable, and she gets thrown into a hellish situation. That's character development, bro. She's gonna go through such a hell of a
right.
character development, and I'm excited for that. Like she's all like stuttering and timid and then she gets thrown into the Resident Evil universe. Oh my god. Like I can't like I'm so excited for this story cuz she's going to have to nut up or shut up. She's going to have to grab a gun cuz she's dealing with zombies and yeah, and mutated zombies and scary things and yeah. I don't understand like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just excited for Resident Evil 9, so I guess I'm biased. I don't know. Uh, Dang it, Agnicar. Don't worry, Reaver. They didn't censor her. They just gave her a personality. You know what? In this case, I think you're right, Agnicar. I think you're right. I think they actually did give her personality and character development. I don't even know what that game is. I don't know what game we were talking about, honestly. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's other good games, but it's a good game. Oh wow, we got a grown up in the house. What are you talking about? Are you talking about uh you know what? It's fine. What? Cuz I didn't say she was ugly cuz she's not ugly. She's actually really cute. Well, I'm not saying she's Siri. Siri's obviously gorgeous, but she's cute. I'm not saying like she's not ugly. Anyways, whatever. Guys, I've seen ugly. She ain't ugly. Oh yeah, apparently Outer Worlds 2 was announced. I didn't see that. What do you think of it, Saib?
It's got third person perspective, and it honestly looks really good. Like it looks legitimately like it looks really good. They've done a lot of improvements, and I could also tell by the way that the staff were talking during the showcase and during the after showcase, because they had a major after showcase as well. And the problem that we had with that one guy, that one guy, that one guy
Who?
didn't have that problem anymore. Really didn't have that problem anymore. We were not
Oh,
seeing
that one
them.
guy. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking
that
about
one
Neil
guy.
Druckmann. I was like, what about Neil Druckmann?
Yeah, no, 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 no. That's a different problem. That's a different problem. But yeah,
That's a
no,
different guy.
we didn't have, like, it was quite clear that we were like, we're not going to have that issue show up again. I would say their tone throughout the entire thing was extremely respectful, which is good because it's like, yeah, well, that's like about time. Like,
They're like, we know about the backlash. But that's good. I'm glad. Honestly, I didn't finish the first game, so I'm hoping that, the second game works out for them. It was about something else. Sure, Magna Card. Sure, okay. And I think that's it. I think that's everything so far. I still need to look at all the game shows and see what I missed.
yeah, it was a lot. There was a ton of stuff. So,
Gotta put
and that
aside.
and there were a lot of smaller games that were out that,
What? An Invincible game is coming out?
yes, yeah. Although it is not the Invincible game that I was excited to see. Was definitely not that. I was a little disappointed. I was not too happy with that, but yeah, that's yeah. So it's a fighting game. It's not a like an RPG or a story game. It's just a classic beat 'em up, pew pew pew, boom boom boom, that kind of game. That's what it is.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I was a wee bit disappointed in that, but but that's okay. That's fine. It doesn't have to be that thing, right? So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's. I'll look into it, I guess. I keep forgetting I'm not actually in the conversation. Oh, sorry, Agricar. Also, I'm surprised Nintendo isn't a topic. Oh, we already covered Nintendo like twice. Oh yeah, it's a fighting game.
Yeah,
Not gonna
lots
lie.
lots of Nintendo stuff. Lots of Nintendo stuff coming.
Not gonna lie, it was kind of weird. How would an invincible RPG even work? Oh, it's an invincible RPG. Like you.
No, it's not. It's a fighting game. It's like a
Oh,
beat 'em up, like punchy punch 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 fighting game.
I mean,
It's not a
I would assume that a invincible RPG would be like you get to roleplay as certain types of characters in the game. Like you can play as your own superhero in the city, or you can probably roleplay as a Viltrumite or some, I don't know. Scythe mentioned RPG. Is there an invincible RPG? Hmm. Or maybe that was something that they were
no.
talking
There's
about.
there's not there's no RPG. I don't know where people are. There
Yeah, I
is.
don't.
This is why I'm upset. There is no RPG for Invincible. You can't play multiple characters. You only have the a few characters that are from the show that you play in a what's the word, like Mortal Kombat beat 'em up. There's no role play, there's no story, there's no like cool content, there's no like it did none of that. It's just, I'm gonna fight you. Oh, I am going to fight you too. Haha, we shall fight each other. Boom 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 boom, done. That's it. There's nothing. There's nothing cool.
Oof.
It's very sad.
It's very sad. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Seb? Any games that caught your interest that you want to talk about?
So I am trying out a couple of them. So TerraTech has come up. TerraTech Legion. You drive a vehicle that you get to build, and it's a Vampire Survivor style game, which is I really like those. But you play a truck, and you can upgrade the truck to be this like whatever you want, massive like design. You can keep it small. You can do whatever you want, but it's really cool. It plays different than any of the other Vampire Survivor games out there, which just goes to show that indie developers are where the future of gaming is at. Past that, one of the games that I've been excited for. I think you're excited for this one too.
Eh?
Dispatch
Oh
came out.
yeah. Wait, what?
So
Oh,
Dispatch
is it?
demo. The demo is available. I just downloaded it not too long ago. This is where you play as a dispatcher, dispatching local superheroes to deal with fights, and it plays with a little light touch of visual novel. And I think there's romance options. I don't know, don't quote me on
Are
that, but
they?
it seems
Yeah.
it really feels like there's romance options. Yeah.
Is it just mostly women though? Because it seems like you can romance the blonde
No,
lady.
I don't know. I haven't played it. All I know is I am pretty excited for it overall, because I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. I like this. This design, this concept is it's a cool concept. I like it. It works.
Yeah. I'm just a little worried that it's gonna be a little railroady. That's what I'm a little worried about. But it looks pretty interesting. Uh, wait, isn't it who? Oh yeah, Jacksepticeye is also in this. I think is yeah, Matt Mercer is also in it. Jack Moist Critical is also in it. Uh, I think those are the only names I recognize. Travis Willingham. Oh yeah, he's in Critical Role. Aaron Yvette, Laura Bailey. I think she's also in Critical Role. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Laura Bailey is in Critical Role. Laura Bailey and my the main dude. They were both in the Future Game Show thing. They were streaming that together.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out. Definitely gonna check the demo out. I need to like set aside a stream just going through game demos because there's like a couple of game demos I downloaded but I haven't played it yet. But I am so excited. I'm glad that they at least released a demo now. But yeah, uh, the only thing I'm just it's just isn't it by the same people who made wait who's making this? Who's the developer of Dispatch? Is it the same people who
I
made
don't I don't know it off the top of my head.
A Wolf Among Us? Amongst Us?
Oh, maybe. I don't think
No.
wasn't
Oh,
no.
it's a new
I thought
developer.
that
This is
I
their
thought
first
that I
game.
thought that studio died. Yeah, I want to say
Ad
that that
hoc
that
Ad hoc Studio. This is their first game. Interesting. Okay. Wait, they
yeah.
killed
Like I
off.
said, I'm super up for this. Like this appears to be quite cool. So I mean, fingers crossed that we're getting something cool. But yeah,
Yeah, I just hope that it's not railroady and we actually get like multiple endings and stuff. Because that's the one thing I didn't like about like Telltale games was that they were very railroady and they had like fake choice systems. Like it didn't matter what you chose
Right.
because the
Yeah.
game's just gonna decide how the fucking story goes. So it's like all these fake choices. It's like, are you really playing the? I don't know. It's like, are you really playing an RPG? Are you really making choices? But yeah, that's just only my criticism. But hopefully, this patch is actually really good. What the hell is Kraken Academy? Anyways, is I appreciated that there was a lot of detective games. Uh, was it
Yeah,
Dark?
lots more detective games. We're starting to see some of that coming out. That's very interesting.
I liked the Duck Detective. That looked really cute, and I like puzzle games and deducing who to trust and who not to trust and who's lying, who's the real culprit, that kind of thing. Uh, and plus I like horror. I forgot what. I think it's called Gothlic. Goth. Am I remembering it wrong? It's not Gothic. It was. There was this one game where it was like 1920s aesthetic, but is like horror with supernatural elements and like was it porcelain animatronics, porcelain clockwork robots. It's like a horror game, but it has some like religious themes to it too. And like you use your blood to reload the gun you use, and the way that you do it like creeps me out. But I was like, you know what? I want to play this game because it freaks me out because it has all these horror elements in it, and it piqued my interest. Oh yeah, Mortal Shell looks really interesting. Mortal Shell 2, that looks interesting. Uh, Dying Light the Beast, that looks interesting, but I'm not really into Dying Light personally.
Yeah, I cannot play that game for the life of me.
Yeah, but my sister's fiance, he's like really into the Dying Light series, so he might really like it. I don't know, it has some horror elements to it, so it might pique my interest. I don't know. Oh yeah, Ill looks really freaking good. Ill looks creepy as heck, and I want to play it so badly. Uh, there was another game. I'm trying to remember. It was Ill and something else. I just realized like no one really talks about Assassin's Creed Mirage. It kind of just appeared and then left. But then again, no one talks about Assassin's Creed Shadows because it just kind of appeared and left.
Yeah, that's definitely a dead game.
Oh yeah, Lies of P Overture that came out.
Yeah, yeah, Liza P.
It apparently it's like it takes place before the start of the game. It's a DLC that takes place before the start of the game, and it's getting mostly positive reviews. Everyone is enjoying it, and I'm glad. I'm glad because I really want to play the game. I got the game, so I'm glad that the DLC is doing well, so I can get it later. I'm trying to see if there's any other. Well, I can't really say much after that because I didn't watch the other game shows like Saib did. I guess I'll have more games to talk about the next time once I actually like sit down and watch the game shows. Ugh, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Ugh.
So join the club. Not feeling well.
Oh yeah, Silk Song finally. Apparently, it was finally shown. Everyone's excited for Silk Song because Hollow Knight was such a massive success. Uh, well, I like how Assassin's Creed Shadows has mostly positive reviews with 19,000 reviews, 19,494. And then I went down and I saw Slay the Princess, which is a game that technically came out like 2 or 3 years ago. I think maybe a year or two ago. And it has overwhelmingly positive reviews at 22,571. And this is like a visual novel game, meaning technically not that many people have played this game, but it has more positive reviews than Assassin's Creed Shadow, which is technically a recent AAA game that came out not that long ago. I'm just saying, pretty interesting. God damn, Balatro has 123,971 reviews. God damn. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Side, before we close off?
Well, it'll take a while for us to go through all of the games because I can't even remember all of them. But yeah, there's gonna be I'm positive there's gonna be a ton more stuff down the road. It's gonna be very exciting. Um, I think games are back. I really do. Like, legitimately, I think games are back because we haven't had this for so long. Having good games that are not full of absolute garbage, all this kind of stuff. We actually have like good something to look forward to now, and it seems that somehow the world has learned. I say hopefully, crossing my fingers. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see. We'll try. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No promises. I have no idea whether or not this stuff is actually going to be good or not in the long run. So yeah.
The Coffin of Andy and Lele has more reviews than Assassin's Creed Shadows. And that says a lot. That says a lot. It says a lot.
That's such an interesting game.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw this new game. Well, this recently shown game that's like kind of visual novel esque, and it's called Vampire Therapist. And you are a vampire therapist that talks to other vampires, like you know, with
Yeah,
their
I think I heard about that one. That is very interesting.
um. I just want to get back into Rogue Trader. I want to I want to play Rogue Trader. I want to because like the story's gotten really interesting, so I want to hurry up and get back to it so I can get through the storyline. But yeah, I guess I got nothing else to talk about because I haven't caught up on it on the game show stuff yet. So, oh yeah, the first Berserker Kazan, that looks really good. I mean, it's already released. It's very positive reviews. It looks like a really good game. Kind of Souls like. Uh oh, ill. Hello, there you are. I've been looking for you. All right. Is there anyone who's seeing any games that they're interested in? Wait, what? If they pull a Mortal Kombat in this game, it could be peak. A Chainsaw Man fighting game, Mortal Kombat style, would also be peak. Earth to Reaver. What do you mean? What are you saying Earth to Reaver for? I was just looking at Steam, alright? Anyways, I don't know if there's any games that anyone else has saw that you guys are interested in, but yeah. Ooh, inf in Infinite Warfare. I'm just looking at Steam now. Anyways, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and end it here because you blanked out for a while and I got concerned. It's because I was looking at Steam. I was looking at Steam, the new
There's
release games
yeah,
and stuff.
there's so many new things out. I can't like I was trying to like look at them all, trying to figure out like, well, what's gonna be good, what's gonna be bad, what's gonna be trash, what's not. Yeah, it's like it's all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Is there anything you want to plug in?
Um, just due to me being sick and having some health issues, the new podcast is going to be a little delayed. So apologies for that. For the book podcast on the new channel, it's still coming. It is still coming. I've just not been very well recently.
Yeah.
So now that that's I think better, then I think things will get a little bit better and we won't have so many issues.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you feel better as five. And we'll see
Yeah,
you
me too.
guys. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Goodbye.